Okay, we should be live. Again. Yeah, I went and had food. We are content. We are happy. We have Skelly Bros now. I'm in Act 5. I actually did do a Countess run while we were getting through stuff, so that'll be fine. Let's see. Should be good. And let's go ahead. I'm going to do some crafting here at the beginning. Huzzah. Yeah, I've got enough to do 2 crafts of belts and still have a little bit left over. Hey, fact checker, welcome back. So let's go ahead and do 1. That is absolute garbage. And 2, less garbage. Still garbage, but less garbage. I think we're actually going to stick with the ones that we have. But yeah, that's some belts. That one's just going straight in the bin. This one we'll keep. That'll be okay for a sorceress. But I organized my stuff a little bit. We're going to keep that. We want to keep a couple requirement down jewels. Sorry, not gems. I don't think there's anything else in here that we... Oh, there's another one. Yeah, we're going to keep requirement down jewels just in case we need them. They're basically baby hell runes. It's good for mercenary equipment. We're not going to use this because it's absolute garbage. We will use this because it's got resists. It's got better mana. It's got better pretty much everything. Same faster cast rate. So, and it's got Nova Windstruck, so it's fine. So this one's going to go away. So we've got a nice little start going here. I do need to farm some more runes because, as you can see, we're getting a little bit low on our low-end runes. I need to do some normal farming of it. It'll be fine. I'll do it later. But let's go ahead and try and finish a Nightmare today. I'll try and finish Nightmare and get started on Hell difficulty, actually. Because I think that would be a good start. We have these guys to kill, of course. But it shouldn't be too hard to do. We've got mages. We've got the Enslaved. What's our extra guy here? Watch that B4 socket. Nope, it's only 3. Okay, that's fine. We got a Bone Wand. We've got the Demons. We've got the Siege Beast. It might actually just be an okay little batch there. So hopefully you are doing well. We are ready to just keep on diving into this. Why is it you can't get past Duriel with a hammered-in build the way you talked about? You get killed in 1 hit every time. You get killed in 1 hit if you have too low life, but also... generally, I try to start getting block for Nightmare. Unless you're trying to do a hammered in normal, in which case, don't. Normal difficulty hammered in doesn't work very well. But Nightmare difficulty, you should still be able to survive a hit if you have resists. If you don't have enough cold resist, use a thawing potion as well to give you cold resists for a little while. But... generally speaking, you shouldn't be dying in 1 hit to Nightmare Duriel even. Unless you really, really don't have enough vitality or you're way too low level. Because it should take 2 or 3 hits. Usually. So, what level are you and what difficulty are you dying to him on? It looks like we've got a northwest facing layout here. Hammered-in's pretty high on our list of things to make, by the way, for those of you wondering. I will probably be making one relatively soon. Probably maybe the 3rd character. I think I want to make a druid next, although there are some other options. Let's see. D2 and Summoner is so interactive, and you're... okay. Let's show that. Why not? 34, you probably shouldn't be facing Duriel just yet. Generally speaking, you should still be leveling up in normal. Unless you are in a little bit of, like, a rush to get through. Because, generally speaking, for new players especially, I would recommend probably staying in normal until at least 40. That way you actually have your kind of stuff set up and doing what you need it to do. Now, am I going to bother rescuing the barbarians? Probably not. I can rescue them off screen if I need the runes, but otherwise it's just going to be taking up space. Hey, Sam, how's it going? You got a 1 skill, 20 faster cast druid circlet. Cool. Thank you for the offer, but I don't think I really need it. I'll just make a lore and use that. Oh, 16 all res. That's actually really nice, but yeah. Keep it and make a druid. It'll work out well for you. I'm just probably going to stick with lore or make a lore druid helmet. Get myself a good 2-socket with nice stats on it. Don't need to deal with them. I'm going to just run past them. Mostly just chilling with the Necro here. Not new. Used to play this when we were a teenager when it came out. Yeah, if you played it back whenever it was before patch 1.1, generally speaking, you spend a little bit longer in each difficulty now. So that can be a factor in it. Let's see. But if it was after 1.09, then it's about the same as what you probably remember it. It's just a matter of... Yeah, that's a little bit low level to be going through unless you're trying to speedrun or something. And if you're trying to speedrun it, for that, definitely do the thawing potion thing. Definitely do the... Oh, we just lost our golem just completely. I probably want to be looking at a good resist shield and some block. I don't have a bear rune. Not on multiplayer. Let's see. Hello, the Canuck. The Canadian, if you will. As opposed to the Frenchman. What is the Frenchman from? Why is that stuck in my head now? And yes, we could use the teleport staff to just kind of rush through stuff. Don't want to. we could literally get straight to the ancients like right away. But yeah, for Nightmare, I generally don't recommend going there before level 40. It's just you're just making things harder on yourself. And you're also not really optimizing your experience at all by doing so. Because you still get fairly decent experience in normal up to that point. Hell, I've leveled in normal till 60-something just because I was watching something while playing. What is... Stop hitting me, you goddamn little carver. Why you're glued on my ass, I don't know. Oh, you fucking piece of garbage! Stop. Why doesn't it keep that? There we go. I literally had it on there set to that so I could teleport around. Ugh. Sorry, getting cranky at the game. It didn't save my setups. Working on a poison summoners. Poison summoners can be pretty good. Sorry for swearing at it there. Diablo doesn't really take place in Arabic lands. I'm not sure exactly what you're going for with that one, but it doesn't happen in Middle Eastern territories. There are territories like where the Vizrai are from, where the people do share traits with what would be considered Middle Eastern in the real world as far as their aesthetic. There are areas like the barbarian areas where you have predominantly white, and like I'm trying to think of the term for it. Caucasian probably would be the best thing. More Russian-y looking people. But where is the shaman? He is pissing me the hell off. There he is. Sorry, getting cranky at it. That is a good shield. I'm going to keep that. I think you're mistaking Arabic, which is a language, for a region. Poison only needs 1 revive skill with plus skills. He's, well, tanky. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, Drew. How's it going? Anglo-Saxon. That's the one I was looking for. I just kind of went Caucasian for that. But yeah, Anglo-Saxon is a bit more what I was saying for the barbarians and stuff. As far as some of the other things, I'm trying to think what the other regions are. Yep, all res for open socket. I'm going to just put some diamonds in it just to piss people off. Why? Because I can. And we have goats, which isn't too bad. And it's superior as well. So, yay. So enhanced defense and durability. But anyway, that would be Middle Eastern. So anyway, before I get too deep into that, we are losing all of our mages. I might not keep reviving them. We'll go with revives. Goodbye, corpses! If I can actually use them up faster than they do anything. Hey, how's it going? Barbs and druids are Nordic. Yeah, Scandinavian. Which, if I remember correctly, most of the people who are considered Anglo-Saxon descent right now are actually from there, aren't they? Because didn't the Vikings travel over and pretty much take over the English Isles well before a lot of the other nonsense? Can you guys, like, stop just staring at them and twiddling your ass? Thank you. This is the one thing I don't like about summons at times, is they will just completely go and keep killing the same thing over and over rather than running past it. You can't stand the stupid beetles in Act 2 Nightmare? They will murder you if you don't have good resist. That is for darn sure. Now, if we get the waypoint up here, I'll be happy. This group of enemies is actually making me have to pay attention, which sucks. Because I'm having to make sure that things die and stay dead. And since we have an Insight Mercenary, I can just keep casting this non-stop almost. We started a Poison Summoner with the Necromancer. Yeah, it's a pretty solid little build. I've used it a few times. Get off of my ass, you stupid piece of shit. Swear to God. There we go. Healing, mana healing. Well, let's just get running through this. This set of enemies is going to just make me angry. I hate to say it, but it really is. Thorns over Might. Yes, for bosses. If I was just doing area clears, then I would go Might. But I'm not doing area clears. I'm doing boss fights, which means that I can use the fact that the bosses do 4 times damage against them. So... whereas if I was trying to do area sweeps and stuff like that just to get as many drops as possible, then yes, I would want Might, because then the minions could actually do a bit more damage in their own right. But let's see. I'm done swearing at them for a little while. If that was offending some people. Can you guys die already, please? Thank you. Yeah, they're not really that big of a threat. It's just I'm getting really irritated at the little, like, ankle biters. Because my minions do not want to actually stop targeting the exact same one over and over again. which would still be a problem even if I had might. There you go, a little bit of poison for them. And we also have the piercers. It's just all kinds of a mess. It's an unpleasant spawn pattern. Thankfully. Stop. I don't know why they're actually super fascinated with me. They should be targeting my minions a little bit more. But Crystalline Passage. We should be able to get Anya relatively easily here. There's usually not a major threat here unless we get a lot of gloams down in the river. Which is a distinct possibility, but Go, my minions. Oh, and we have a boss mob in there somewhere. I think it might be dead, though. Yeah, it's dead. And am I going to bother using the full rejuves? Probably not until hell. And even then, I'm not super focused on it. So let's see. We want to go around the edge here. So I'm going to actually come back up this way. Let them fight those. We'll fight down here with these. We've got another boss mob as well. Extra strong cold enchanted. That's fine. I'm not sure how that reached me. Should have been out of range of that. But it's fine. So are you going poison first or summons first, by the way? As far as your poison summoner. Out of curiosity. Because there is a difference. Like, right now we are summons first with poison support. And we will probably be that way until I decide to respec into something for farming. Which will probably be the Lazy Bones if I had to go for like a specific build that I'm going to be going on here. Because that's going to get me just easy farming locations. No, this isn't hardcore. I don't play hardcore on Battle.net because I don't trust it to stay up. It's one of those things where I don't feel like dealing with a lag death. If I play hardcore, it's going to be single player. You're going poison first, then summon? Okay. That shouldn't be too bad. I usually still get a golem to start out. Just one pointer, just go through it and just have it go like that. It's still fine, though. Lazy Bones is what I call a character that I go mostly poison on with just meat shields. It's literally max poison Nova, and then whatever I have left just goes into summoning skeletons to help me. Go, you fiends! Murder! Why are mage skeletons so unpopular? Because they're very hard to boost. And they don't really have much survivability, so it's kind of like... They're not the worst thing ever. They do actually provide a little bit of damage for you, but they don't ramp up fast enough to actually be worth it. Even with lower resist, you can't make them really dangerous. If you had some way to amplify their elemental damage, they would be. It's kind of a similar situation with Act 3 mercenaries, where unless you have something to really boost them up, they're not going to be doing enough damage to justify the frustrations of even having them. So you just don't. So let's see. Well, I'll just run across the way down first. I want the waypoint. That way I can just go straight for the ancients as soon as possible. So we got amethyst there. We've got plenty of amethyst for re-rolling more belts. We just didn't get good luck with them. You tried that build once on Pluggy with your level 85 Necro. Had poor gear for a poison build, so you kept dying. Yeah, it's generally you just need plus skills. That's all you really need on it. Things that reduce enemy poison resist are nice, like the Death's Web is a nice one, and that is going to be Glacial Trail. We don't care about Glacial Trail yet. We'll come back for it. That's going to be the last place we go. Instead, we want the waypoint. Because we can grab the waypoint and come wandering back up. And yes, I am intentionally slowing down, killing things, because frankly, I need the experience. Because I want to be leaving Nightmare in my like late 60s, early 70s. But we're going to probably get there well before that. So I want to get as much right now as possible, so I don't have to stop and grind on camera. I can do that off camera. So you guys don't have to get completely bored with me just running Bale or running cows. You keep getting too close and getting smacked. That can be a problem too, but also like you're running into things like gloams and stuff like that. They can wreck your face. You don't have to get close to them for it. But yeah, lazy bones, you're meant to actually just have your skeletons go up and do all the business for you. And as far as the term fishy mancer, that's actually not bad. But I don't know if we have room for all this garbage. Let's go ahead and check that. 15 life is fine. Get rid of those. Let them get murdering there. After you do your Summon Druid, you're going total noob with a Frozen Orb source. Frozen Orb is a good, like, base for... and our Mercenary is dying. But, yeah, Frozen Orb is a decent enough base. Let's go ahead and get some of those out to help. And everything down here is getting frozen, by the way. That's the problem. You drop out poison there. Get them all kind of set up. But, yeah, them getting frozen is what was causing a problem down here. By the mix of the slow plus these little shits that do actually freeze our minions. There's some poison for you. I'm not even using lower res yet, but if you're going poison first, definitely go lower res first. But for Frozen Orb, you're going to have enough resources to do a second element, so I'd probably start off with your secondary element. As in, do your, like, if you're doing fire Frozen Orb, get your fireballs first. There's the Frozen River. We definitely want that. Town portaled up. Lean that away from them. They should start dying, yeah. But yeah, Frozen Orb's a lot more useful than a lot of people give it credit for. Oh, we almost missed our Sapphire. No. Pick it up. Thank you. It's like, nah, you click on it 7 times. I'm not picking it up. Please, for the love of God, just go around the corner and pick it up, damn it. You dirty rat. There we go. So yeah, just getting the amp damages out there. Yeah, you got to leave with +5 warmth and +4 fireball. Nice. So yeah, you'll have your health. You'll be setting up your fire end of that. But yeah, orb is just, it's a really good way to get your second element. If you're second elementing in lightning, you have to go Nova, which is super expensive, and you have to spam it. If you go second element in fire, you're usually looking at firewall, which is not terrible. I mean, it does decent damage. It's just, you still have to invest a lot of points to get firewall functioning, but it is your main option for... Are they have AoE freeze? You little jackholes. Die already, please, for the love of God. Thank you. We're going to have to get revives just to deal with this nonsense. There you go. Nice. You always feel Frozen Orb is a bit weak unless you go all in on the 1 synergy and maybe 10 base mastery. So, generally you shouldn't need to invest quite that much, especially if you have just your basic plus skills. Basic plus skills being Spirit, Shield, and Weapon, or even Splendor, Shield, and Spirit Weapon, and a Lore Helmet. That should be more than enough to get you started on it. Mage Fists are indeed quite good. I hoard 2 or 3 of them usually because I use them on more than one build. So back to Rogoth. But no, usually I do 20 in Orb, None in the synergy except for, like, you know, prerequisites. And then I do 1 to 5 in the mastery. And then everything else in my main. So that's going to go there. This is going to sit there. That's going to get sold. That's going to get sold as well. If it had different skills on it, I'd be fine. You always wanted to make a Rusher Sorceress that was Firewall 20, Fire Mastery 20, Frozen Orb 20, Cold Mastery 10, and then, like, Teleport. You don't need high-level Teleport. It just reduces the cost of it. Use an Insight. Players 3 to help or less to help rush friends, yeah. But, yeah, with the Teleport, you don't really... Just get an Insight Mercenary and you don't have to worry about it. Your Mercenary will be fine as you're teleporting around because he repositions with you. So we're going to do that number. And we are ready for... Oh, and I went to the wrong one. We need to go to the town portal. And my thing to keep my hair out of my face is weirdly itchy right now. I just washed it. Maybe I didn't rinse it well enough. Anyway, into the frozen river we go. Ah, it's snakes and ghosts. That's not that bad. The snakes will hurt just a little bit, but I think I can dodge them. But yeah, it's just the cost is not really enough of a reason to invest a lot of points into it. You're better off just making a stronger thing. And we have Succubi here. I can tell you by the... Honestly, I hate their new animation for that. It's not pleasant. So we've got those. Let's go ahead and, yeah, we'll revive a few of you. Do I want to revive these? Sure. We'll have some bone spears that we're not supposed to have. If I remember correctly, this one's do, and then back up. So we got something around the corner there, which is a siren. There's our level up. Let's go ahead and get some more life. We'll get some more poison. Get skellies up. Another golem. We're good. We're basically almost full summon. We don't have all of our revives, but I'm not going to be too fussed about that. Go, my minions! Duck around the corner, please. Thankfully, no freeze down here. Just don't get hit. Have I considered Edge Rune Word for Thorns? Yep, I've used it before. Generally speaking, if you're going to go for the Edge Thorns, you want an Act 1 Mercenary with Bramble and Edge. For right now, I would rather have my plus skills if it's on me, and then the Mercenary can't equip Edge. He can equip Bramble, but I don't have the runes for Bramble. But yeah, you want your plus skills. Oh, it's ethereal. Not what I want. But yeah, Act 5 is going to be good XP. We're going to be able to deal with a lot of this. Hi, my friends. Time to die. Yeah, his level of Thorns is level 8 right now. So yeah, Edge wouldn't be that much better. It would still be better. It's just not that much. Let's go and get some more summons. Let's go and get some more mages. Because they're surviving because we're facing mostly ranged things, so they're taking on our skeletons first. So yeah, we just want to keep heading up and right. For the most part. Hey, and he leveled up. Still level 8 on that. I forget what the scaling is on it. It's slow as balls. Closing in on hell now with the Bone Necro Guide. Good luck. You will probably, if you're fairly new, you will probably die a few times, but that's just comes with the territory. And there's Frozenstein. Let's go ahead and get another revive there, big old boy. I'm not even bothering corpse exploding. But yeah, I'm glad it's working out for you, the Bone Necro. Dim Vision would be great help. Yeah, it's more of a help for against gloams and stuff, but yeah, here it wouldn't be too bad. Because we are dealing with a decent amount of ranged enemies. Well, let's go ahead and get 10% more resist all like we really need it. We really don't. We'll need it for hell difficulty, though. You thought Thorn's Aura hasn't been good for Necros in a while? It's not usually used frequently for farming. It's used for killing bosses. You're thinking of probably the use with the Blood Golem, and we are not using Blood Golem. But reflected damage with the Blood Golem used to be able to make you invincible, but they nerfed the hell out of that. But for now, we use the Thorns for against bosses since they do 4 times damage. They will basically just be super easy for us to kill as they smack our minions. They take way boosted damage. Where is she at? Did we... She should be up here now.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Are you down here yet? There you go. Got Bone Spear, White Wand, 2, 3 to Poison Bone Necro, Ammy, and a Skiller. Got 32 Bone Spear. Yeah, you should be able to nuke everything. And thanks for the compliment. Yeah, I got tired of like the half-hour long guides that I kept running across. I was like, this can be shorter. This can be cleaner. Why isn't it? But that's the main reason I wrote them like that. And I hope to keep that whenever I do like the endgame build guides, but there's going to be a lot more in terms of alternative gear that we can go through and alternative options that I might have to make those a bit longer. Hey, Kelvin, how's it going? Thorn's superior to Might even in hell. Always want to try Thorn. No, I wouldn't say it's superior. It's a different use case. It's kind of like if... trying to think of a good example for it. But let's take the Blizzard Sorceress, for example. It's an amazing Magic Find character. But if you try going through the game with a Blizzard Sorceress, you're going to have to leave so many groups of enemies alone because you're just not going to be able to kill them. You're going to have to run past them or teleport past them or just get past them in one way or another, but it'll kill the bosses super easy. This is kind of a inverse situation. We're using the Thorns because it makes us kill bosses easy because we deal just fine with the crowds. There is more stuff to cover. Okay. Yeah, there is more stuff to cover in endgame builds for sure, but as long as you stick to the no fluff, it should be good. Okay. Yeah, the main thing is whenever you're doing endgame things, you do still have to provide like an endgame budget option, otherwise we'll get very bad. Still playing Skyrim, eh? Cool. I am doing okay. Trying to get through Nightmare difficulty, probably into hell today. We'll probably do... let's see, what time is it? At least an hour and a half more. If not 2.5 hours, depending on what we're kind of like dealing with at the time. It is going to storm here, so I'll have to get off. I've already edited tomorrow's video, so I don't have to get off to do that. That's a plus. So we're good there. But yeah, basically, I'm using what I'm using on here to help me deal with bosses, which is generally the weakness of the summoners, because act bosses do 4 times damage to summons, but you can take advantage of that. Because the reflected damage. It's just one of those things. But if you're going to be like clearing an area and you don't have to worry about killing the act bosses, then don't go Thorns. Might will be superior. I still like Hellpoint. I don't like the inverted camera. That's why I don't turn on Twitch integration on that game. Speaking of which, I should play through it again. Just bring in my, like, overpowered character that we have, like, level several hundred in. That said, on the difficulty he's on, he gets one shot, but that's an entirely different discussion. Yeah, it's a %. Let's go ahead, and there it is. 530% damage. So if they hit me for 100, it returns 530. So if they're hitting them for 400, it's returning like 2,000 something. I'm not doing math right now. My brain is a little still fried. So, and there is a boss mob somewhere around here because that's a minion. This area, we're not going to go down there and farm. You're going to play Necro next. What's a good starter beginning build? I would 100% recommend for like new players to Necro, do the Bonemancer guides. Start the normal Bonemancer guide, then go to the budget Bonemancer guide. Because Summoner is awesome. Summoner is easy once you know how to play it, but it can bite you in the ass against bosses. You're a bit nervous about Blizzard Sorceress, Helmeth runs, and Ancient Tunnels is your favorite thing in single player, but you want to do the same online. As far as, I would go Fireball, Frozen Orb to get through the story, and then switch to Blizzard. Because that'll get you through the difficulty without much of a problem. And then you get to choose where you farm, which Ancient Tunnels and Mephisto are fine. I don't do Twitch integration on games for that exact reason, Kelvin. I squelched that vote. Because I am not about to get physically ill just to play a game. But for those of you wondering, Hellpoint is a game that we're talking about. It's got Twitch integration, but you don't have control over what can be voted on. If I could turn off the visual inversion on it, I would play it with Twitch integration on, but the visual inversion actually gives me motion sickness, which makes me want to vomit. Worst build in Diablo 2 that you can use? Inferno. Actually, no, I would say it's Arctic Blast. Arctic Blast would be the worst one. So, it's even worse than Punch Barb. In my opinion. At least Punch Barb you can get Crushing Blow to work for you. Just by getting some Crushing Blow from other sources like gloves and boots. Where should you magic find with Bone Spear, Corpse Explosion, Necro for early hell? Pretty much it's going to be the same regardless of where you go. Honestly, it's just whatever place you think is going to be super easy to go to. If it's early hell, then Tomoe Highlands, the cave in there, is a fairly decent place. I don't know if I want to get the waypoint here or not. We'll skip it. It's not a necessary one. I'll just have a safety portal. I would say Arctic Blast is even worse than Summon Druid, because at least with Summon Druid, I could go Bear. Bear can actually kill things. Let's go and grab that. And are we going to need more Skelly Bros? Probably not. What is our enemy type looking like? We've got the Archers, which are fine. We've got the Hellspawn, which are fine. Yeah, we should be fine here. You're level 24 and you're already committed to Blizzard, or at least you've got level 16 Ice Bolt. So maybe you could do Blizzard Fireball and just get through, then Respect. You're only level 24. Yeah, you can get through normal just fine with a Blizzard Sorceress. That's not the worst thing ever. I'm talking about getting through Hell difficulty. Normal you can get through with Firebolt. I mean, it's not the worst thing ever. But if you're talking Hell difficulty, you're going to run into a lot of cold immunities. So you should be fine. But the only reason I start out with fire is because I'll do firebolt, fireball through normal. Then in Nightmare, I'll just switch over to bumping up Frozen Orb, which then I can just bump Fireball up and Frozen Orb up and just go through all of Hell difficulty, then switch to whatever the heck I want at the end. Oh, how I wish I could actually downgrade this to 1.0 of Diablo 2, but that's not going to be, like, possible at all. Because if I could downgrade this to 1.0, I could show you a real army. Nightmare Mephisto worth farming, or should you try to press... Nightmare Mephisto is actually a really good farming thing. If you can do it quickly, yeah, he's good. Best class for first playthrough, either Assassin or Paladin would be my vote. Paladin, if you want to do a little bit of melee. Once you get to Nightmare, the Paladin can go either way. The Assassin is nice because you can actually cast things and run away and not have to worry about a lot of these things. Because the way she works is her traps are kind of autonomous from you. So you drop out the traps, and, well, they can shoot around corners, they can do all this other stuff, and you don't have to be there putting your ass at risk. But yeah, Paladin or Assassin would be my recommended first class. A lot of people are going to say, but Sorceress! And I'm going to say, but she's fragile, and people die a lot, especially if they're playing on Xbox and have loading times. Diablo 1.09 was your favorite because source skills are Hydra and Blizzard. Hydra's kind of sad now. I could play through with a Hydra source and probably make it work, but it wouldn't be as efficient. Hydra's just kind of like one of those nostalgia skills. It's one of the same reasons why, yeah. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted by fighting some things real quick. It's one of the reasons why I still have a soft spot for, like, Thunderstorm. Even though Thunderstorm is complete garbage.
I need a key.
Let's go ahead and murder all those. And yeah, we're going to lose the mage there. It's fine. Can you guys kill their little friends, please? Thank you. Now I'm just for some reason thinking of the Solasta pronunciation of Paladin. The dragon calls it a Paladin. And it pissed me off. Yeah. The Paladin, he has really good block frames, especially if you're using Holy Shield. He has really easy time getting resist because, well, his class-specific item literally comes with resists half the time. He has a ton of really powerful skills. If you want to just hit things fast and hard, you have Fanaticism and Zeal. If you want to cast, you have Blessed Hammers. If you want to do something weird, you have Oradin builds, which is like Holy Shock. And they can be effective. The Oradin is a little harder to get going for new players, but it's there. It's an option. You have a lot of tools with that. You can be a cleric with a Paladin and just play with a team. It's a pretty just good all-around class. That's why I usually list it as the best class in the game or the strongest class in the game. Is it my favorite? No. But I 100% recognize what it is. Because it is not something that is just garbage. Kind of afraid to go down here because I have a feeling we're going to have... so far, not terrible. We're okay. We still have a third spawn that could be down here. It's the third spawn I'm worried about. Because the third spawn is going to be something kind of nasty. If we end up with it. It's the Frenzy Taurs. I'd rather not have to deal with them, but... And these guys aren't exactly... Oh, yay, it's not Frenzy Taurs. Yay, we're good. We are completely kosher now. We have Spear Ladies, which are actually okay revives. They're not the best revives in the game, but they do damage and they're fast, so it's like, why worry about it? Yeah, it's super straightforward, just hit stuff kind of build. The Pally, that is. And why did it catch that? Silly YouTube. Pally is not a swear word. Silly YouTube. Tricks are for kids. What's the best beginner druid build? Elementalist. And they're pretty fun. I enjoy the Elementalist druid. I have a soft spot for it. If you prefer melee, there is the Fury druid. Half freeze duration. Those are both going to get sold. That's going to go away. But yeah, for me, Elementalist Druid, you start with a Fire Druid in normal, respec in Nightmare to a Wind Druid, and off to the races you go. And it's tons of fun. I really don't know why it caught Pally as a swear word. That was very strange. If I wasn't playing a summoner, I would have to take longer to actually correct it on that. Okay, down here we're looking for the waypoint first because I might die to the Ancients. I probably won't. But I want to be better safe than sorry. But yeah, best beginner druid, you start out with going Firestorm into Fissure. For the elemental things, you run a Leaf Staff, which is Tier Raw, and you use that throughout normal into like probably Act 2 Nightmare. Then you switch over to a Wind Druid using your Nightmare respec. You tried to make a character named Serra Firma on Battle.net and was told it had profanity in it. It's just a Russian name. No idea if some subset of those letters are slang for something. There's been people having issues with SE names. And it's also some people having issues with, like, if it's, like, even half what their password is. Mine's, like, convoluted nonsense. But, if it resembles anything in their actual password, it'll catch it as a swear word as well. For security reasons, of course, but still. But yeah, Serra Firma doesn't seem like it would be a bad thing. Watch this before socket. It is! Okay, so we have a backup. I would actually rather not have it in a bill, so we're not going to bother with that one. I don't think. We'll keep it around just in case, but yeah, SE names have been having some issues. I don't know Russian, so just picked up Scoldur's Ire off Nightmare Bale. That should help. Oh yeah, that'll 100% help. If I could get a Scoldur's Ire or a oh crap, I'm trying to think of what the other one is. My brain has just completely blanked. It's another plus skill armor. Viper Magi. There we go. If I could get that or a Viper Magi, I'd be happy. Nah. I'm not going to name my character Kelvin. I don't want it to be a absolute zero. Oh. Yes, I went there. There's our waypoint. This is not going to be the path to the next area, but we're going to clear it anyway for XP. Because we are technically still a little bit underleveled for where we want to be. Hey, Mad Lancer, how's it going? Welcome back to the dark side. We have cookies. Actually, I don't have any cookies. I have a chocolate bar sampler. Would you like a chocolate bar sampler? We've got milk chocolate, we've got toffee, we've got salted dark chocolate, we have 70% dark chocolate, and we have... Actually, I don't know what the other one is. We actually have... Oh, crap. There is one more flavor that I have. It's in the other room, though. I'm not getting up to look. It's definitely not something that I'm really craving right now. I am chocolated out. I had one of them earlier. It's actually fairly good for a cheap brand. It tastes like old Cadbury. Not like as in old and dry and aged Cadbury, but like Cadbury before Nestle bought it. Thinking if you should make wealth. No. No, you shouldn't, because that Co-Rune can be used for a lot of better things. So can the Lem. Wealth used to be good, but you're better off just... You'd be better off using topazes at this point. You'd have to choose chocolate. I also have some chocolate, some salted caramel chocolates as well, but them's a different thing. Those are more like, trying to think of a good example. They're a little bit more firm than a Ghirardelli caramel chocolate, so not quite that. I would say they are probably more in the realm of... It's almost the same firmness as a... I'm trying to think of what the name of it is. Because it's more of a firm caramel. Caramel. But anyway, I'm a foodie, what can I say? I say that whenever I make poor man ribs randomly. Poor man ribs being just stripped steak with barbecue sauce on it. Salted caramel Crown Royal. Actually, that doesn't sound terrible. Crown Royal, not exactly the best for mixing with anything other than maybe... You don't have those brands over here except for Cadbury. If you have Cadbury, you have Nestle. I'm surprised that you don't have Ghirardelli over there. But yeah. I think I don't know if you'd have Lindt over there. But yeah, Cadbury, old Cadbury used to be good. New Cadbury is just sugary, sweet American nonsense. And yes, I am from America. I can call my chocolate shit. The chocolate that comes from here is absolute rat garbage. For like the vast majority of it. So it's not good. I do not have respect for the American chocolate industry. German chocolate's usually pretty good. Dutch chocolate, I mean, yeah, just European chocolate in general is usually pretty good. Scandinavian chocolate is a little bit more creamy, but still pretty good usually too. Can't say I've had Russian chocolate. I've had some weird coffee chocolate things from India as well that were pretty good. You only eat fruit and nuts. I actually just had some blackberries today. Speaking of fruit, I was mildly disappointed in them. They were not as flavorful as one would hope. So those are going to go there. These are going to go in there. We're looking good on potions. We have Portal. Area at Summit it is. Fruit and nut chocolate. Oh, oh crap. I'm forgetting what it's called. I don't even know if they make it anymore. Yes, our chocolate here is absolutely terrible. But, oh crap. There used to be a chocolate with a firm raspberry kind of like jelly in it. That was really good, but I can't remember the name of it. You have so many skill points in Ice Bolt now. May just go pure Blizzard, though, through the end of Nightmare. Get help getting Helmeth and park there and farm him. You could do that. Getting through Act 1 and 2 in Hell difficulty will be a bit of a pain, but farming Mephisto shouldn't be too bad. You can also farm the Council if you get to Hell Act 3. cheap and pure bad quality. Okay, so we're going to start off with amp damage. And let them do... Yeah, see? This is why we get thorns. And if the mercenary stays alive, we'll be even happier. Because look at how much damage they're doing to themselves. Maddock is getting ganked too, though. But yeah, Summoner, not too bad. Maddock down, bye. And he was doing that because he was kind of by himself. Korlik and Talik are about to go down too. There goes Korlik. Talik, sorry. He dies after the whirlwind, of course. Because that's how they always do. And yeah. Council, easy as pie. Milka brand. Milka's pretty good. It's a little on the sweeter side, but it's good. Revive is better than the Clay Golem. No. Revive has better options. But you have to go get them. I'm not going back to Act 4 to get my revives that I want. And you have to get Clay Golem anyway to get revives. So I'm not too worried about it. Because Revive has a prerequisite of all the golems except for fire. Yep. That's because they're all physical damage, and, well, one of them is straight up the ranged one decided to be a melee boy for a little while. You can see against things that don't physically attack, it doesn't do too much. And we used one healing potion in all of that, and it was on the mercenary, not on me. Is it worth it to put some points into vengeance with your Holy Fire Paladin? No. Holy Fire Paladin should be used for normal and normal only unless you are really, really, really aware of what you're trying to do with it. Because you are going to get yourself murdered in Hell difficulty, because there is a way to make a Holy Fire Paladin work. It's not simple. It's very expensive. If I could revive the Clay Golem, that would be absolutely hilarious. Or if I could revive the Council, that would be even more hilarious. And that is a good set of gloves. We're just murdering everything in here. I'm not even, like, paying attention to, like, half of it. And we apparently killed some bosses in there, too. Let's check the Polished Wand. That might be good selling, if nothing else. Clay Golem's not going to make it in hell. You should change it to a level 30 Fire Golem. No. Clay Golem, if you actually invest points in it, is superior to Fire Golem. Fire Golem, generally speaking... Let's see... Fire Golem isn't really superior in durability or anything like that except against fire. So, yeah. Trust me, I have beaten the game many, many times. Many, many, many times. I have 5 seasons uploaded to YouTube, and that's like half the characters I've played since I started on YouTube. Actually, that's less than half the characters, because I have a ton more off-screen that I've just taken through normal, nightmare, and all that other fun stuff. I don't use Fire Golem because I don't want to invest the point in it. That and Clay Golem has slow. And the slow effect is good against things that aren't melee. Keeps these guys from teleporting away as easily, too. Whenever the Clay Golem goes up and gives them a hug. And Clay Golem is pretty solid on bosses, too, letting me control him a little bit better. There are reasons to use Fire Golem, but once you get to a certain point in like how you play the game, you'll find that the Fire Golem, there are ways to do everything he does better with something else. Is Summon Necro the strongest build? God, no. If you're going for strongest build for farming Ubers, you're going to want a Smiter with some life tap. You can do that at probably, geez, in your level 30 something. But the Summon Necromancer can do most of the game without a problem. Have a good one, Kelvin. Feel like the early game with Summon Necro is very boring. How do you get through it? Early game with Summon Necro is Summon Necro. But early game with Summon Necro, you're going to have a big challenge with the bosses. It's easy as hell to get through most of the other areas, but I don't see why boring would be a bad thing. It lets me engage with chat more. It's a very simple build to play. Get Crushing Blow, then, Mad Lancer. Get Crushing Blow. Let's go ahead and show that message so everyone knows what I'm talking about. And yeah, you can always respec. If you find something boring, switch to something else. And technically, respecs are unlimited. You just have to farm for the rest of them, so you can respec as much as you want. And you get 3 free ones that you don't have to farm for. You had to skip a magic immune. You should have Crushing Blow from something if you're running Smite. Usually I'll get it either on the boots or the gloves, which is Blood Gloves or get some Goblin Toes. And I'll smash the crap out of things. Poison or Bone Spear depends on what resources you have access to. If you are poor and don't have access to late game items like Death's Web, then you want to go Bone. Oh, it's a Hammerden? Yeah. I usually just skip the magic immunes. They're so few and far between that it's not really worth bothering. But, yeah, Smite's your main thing. You want Crushing Blow for it. And also higher level shield. How does one farm respecs? You have to kill Hell and Dariel, Mephisto, Diablo, and Baal until they drop enough dust for you to combine their 4 dusts together to make a Token of Absolution. Yeah, Bone Necromancer for going through if you don't have high-end endgame gear. Bone Necromancer is going to be better. If you do have high-end late game gear, Poison Necromancer can do a crap ton of damage and do it anywhere he darn well pleases. But you need things like Death's Web, you need things like... Let's go ahead and load these over there. But you need Death's Web, you need some Rainbow Facets if you can get them, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the only real dangerous thing for as far as magic immunes are going to be the Wailing Beasts in Act 3. And they don't always spawn. But as far as another option for dealing with the magic immunes you ran into in Act 2, you could go with Holy Bolt instead. It won't work on the Wailing Beasts, which is why I usually recommend Smite. But it will actually... Hey, Hellrune. But a... Sorry, I'm trying to like concentrate on like all the things that I'm fighting. How can a Summon Necro deal with physical immunes? Corpse Explosion. Amp damage breaks all physical immunities. Yes, it breaks all physical immunities. Having trouble keep getting light immune in Hell with your traps in. Lower resist will help with that. Lower resist wands. You also, that's one reason why I recommend kicks to go with the traps in, so you have a tool for doing physical damage. You can also go Blade Fury if you want to stay in the trap tree and don't want to worry about kicks or getting in close, but it's a little bit harder to do. It takes some more getting used to for like play style. Starter Paladin build. Oh, you're gonna respec Holy Fire? Generally speaking, I wait until Nightmare, then I respec out of Holy Fire into a Blessed Hammer. Oh, it's ethereal. Unfortunately, What's-Her-Face preserves ethereal nature. Yeah, Hammerdens are very strong. I usually switch out to them in Nightmare difficulty because I want a Spirit first. You can switch out before then. Switch and loving it. Currently level 50 traps in a Nightmare. Sweet! Please let this be the waypoint. It's not! Yarg. Yeah, Holy Fire is actually really good all the way through normal. So... And Firebomb is another alternative for dealing with lightning immunes, and it's a lot stronger than you think it is. If you are investing purely in traps, you have to realize Firebomb gets bonus damage for every trap. It gets a multiplier for every single one. So, yeah, it goes up. It gets into the thousands of damage. I would imagine playing the traps in on a Switch isn't too bad whenever you're dealing with the actual traps. I'd imagine using something like the Firebomb would be a little bit irritating on Switch. Well, for his first time, he's probably going to be pretty high level by the end of Act 5. Generally, you should be... Jesus. Generally, you should be level at least 40 by the time you leave normal. Let's see. The only downside of Switch is you're limited to 4 players per game. Otherwise, I don't see a big problem with it. I would love to be able to just chill and play my characters on Switch, but I don't have the money for getting it on a second platform. I forget where this one sits in there, so we'll just set it there for now. Gems, we'll worry about organizing those later. We'll just throw things in there. We'll organize them later off screen. You run Max Firebomb and Death Sentry. That's a fairly decent combo. That deals a lot with lightning immunes. Let's see. World Stone Keep level 2. Let's go actually to the portal. We're almost done with Nightmare. We're under-leveled. Not terribly, but we're a bit. I wanted to be closer to 70. So we have Stormcasters, and what's our other little friend on this floor? Death Sentry is a lightning trap. So you probably have 20 in Lightning Sentry as well. I have a controller for PC, but I can't play my PC from my bed. I can see my bed from my PC, but I can't see my monitors from my bed. So there's a giant shelf in the way. So let's see. Murder this guy. Blood bosses. Thankfully, they don't have their little minions. But yeah, usually you go Lightning Sentry, Death Sentry, and Firebomb if you're going the Firebomb route. And let's see. How are we looking on those? Not too bad. Let's go ahead and throw those in there. We've got... Oh, we've got Doom Knights with this. Okay. So it's the Night Pack and the Blood Bosses. This is actually a really easy floor. If I were to get this in Hell difficulty, this would be a really good farm as well. I would totally just clear the entire floor for this. But murder all of them. Which Sorceress builds are strongest in Hell without Infinity Rune Word? Dual Elementals. which is going to be your choice of the lightning orb, which is lightning, chain lightning, frozen orb, and synergies for the lightning end of things, or fire orb, which is fireball, meteor, synergies, and orb. Those are going to be your two strongest in hell without infinity. It is worth noting you don't need infinity. You can just use a lower resist wand, and you will break lightning immunities for the most part. You'll break a decent amount of cold immunities. You won't be breaking fire immunities very often with it. It's kind of like half the cold immunities, most of the lightning immunities, and a handful of the fire immunities can be broken with lower resist. So, just how it's set up. Let's go and get some mages and some revives. Will a Blizzballer not work? I mean, it can work for farming bosses. I hate that Blizzballer has, like, Blizz... I'm trying to think of why to explain, like, how to explain why I really don't like the combination of Blizzard and Fireball. I think the main thing is you're basically making Blizzard do the same amount of damage as Frozen Orbs, just base damage. It's harder to aim. It's random where it hits. And it will do extremely low damage without the synergies. Or you're giving up a lot of damage on Fireball, which makes Fireball kind of a waste. Orb is... you invest like 30 points total, and it's good. It'll work all the way through hell. And then everything else can go into your second element. Then you're going for an orb light source or a meteor source. One or the other. Don't bother with tri-elemental starting out. So you would be going, say, Fireball, Meteor, and Orb, or you would be going Lightning, Chain, Lightning, and Orb. One or the other. As far as if you're not investing to max out the synergies for Blizzard, Orb is better. Period. Yeah, if you're going to use Blizzard, go all in. Blizzard is one of those where it can get massive, insane damage. It is the cold equivalent of Meteor. It can get insane damage. It's extremely powerful when invested in. But just like Meteor, if you just invest in Meteor, like, there's one guy that gives like 17 points to Blizzard and then none of the synergies. You should be using Orb at that point. If you're going to do a 17-point Orb, that's going to be better than a 17-point Blizzard. Just because of A, coverage, and B, you actually have the Flourish effect, which for the damage that's listed on Orb, whenever you land the Flourish on an enemy, it deals 16 times that amount of damage. Thunderstorm is terrible, but that's just because of how they handled the casting delay on it. You don't want to raise the respec already. You've committed so much to Ice Bolt. Yes. If you want to stick with it, you can. You will have access by the time you get to Act 3 Hell difficulty. You'll have access to all the places you need to actually get every item in the game. You can get every item in the game in Act 1 Hell. So, no, I haven't gotten any high runes. I've gotten a couple Hell runes, but nothing too amazing. How's it going, Andre? With the Orb Light build, I generally do 1 to 5 into Cold Mastery, 20 into Frozen Orb, and then the rest into Lightning, Chain Lightning, and Lightning Mastery. And then if you have any points left over, it just goes into the remaining synergies for Lightning. Mausoleum... It's either the Mausoleum or the Crypt that's a level 83 area. It doesn't give you every item in the game. The best area is actually in Tomoe Highland. It's the cave over there. I think it's called the Pit. trying to find time to while being a responsible adult. Are any of us responsible adults? Even those of us who claim to be responsible adults? No one is a responsible adult. If we were a responsible adult, if everyone was a responsible adult, we wouldn't have a world situation like right now. So stick to pure Blizz for now, then hopes eventually you can catch a team for hell completion. I mean, you'll be able, if you just join games online, you'll be able to complete hell difficulty. Yeah, we're in Throne. Only took me an hour to get through Act 5. And that's going slow. Generally speaking, if I was rushing it, I could have gotten here way earlier. But I wanted my levels. Your intent all along was to make two sources, one being pure Blizzard, the other being Firewall, Fire Orb. Ah, someone's watching Cooley. Mr. Llama says Sorceress is the best class. It is not. It's best at some things. The actual, like, overall strongest class is the Paladin, because it can do the most things and be towards the top of the rankings. Sorceress is the best magic find character. Javazon's an amazing boss killer. And really good for clearing, like, cows and stuff like that, but that's an entirely different discussion. But Firewall Blizzard just straight up tells me you're watching Cooley. Boazon and Whirlwind Barb are sadly sad. But yeah, the Paladin can do... He is top 1 or 2 of pretty much anything you can do in the game. Except for maybe PvP. There you go. Get him kind of squared away in there. Frozen Orb Firewall. Yeah. Cooley's kind of fallen in love with Firewall. Firewall is a really good skill. It's a pain in the ass to aim. I should actually be doing some Poison Novas here and there. You went full Blizzard and all MF 1-point smiter solo Ubers. But yeah, Cooley's been on a Firewall kick. And Firewall is a good spell. It's not bad. Spin to win. Eh? They're slowly whittling him down. I need to actually get them inside of him again. They're still both mad at me. It's kind of funny. They're slowed down because they hit the Clay Golem. Whirlwind Barb used to be the meta, and then he got nerfed to high hell. He's not the worst thing ever. I just don't really like him that much. There you go, big guy. Oh, he dropped me an Eisenhearts. Why, you bastard. Bite me, Bale. Bite me. See, that's my luck. You need to also worry about your attack speed as a Whirlwinder now.
I can't.
So do keep that in mind if you are going to do Whirlwind. Attack speed is going to be semi-important for you. A sorceress can beat anything naked, but she's also more fragile. Every time you see green, you know you're going to be disappointed. But what about Whitston's Guard or Guillaume's Helm or any of those? Those are amazing. Firewall does the most damage with max Fire Mastery. It's also damage per second. Then the rest of points goes into Blizzard, Glacial Spike, Ice Blast, and Cold Mastery. Damage per second is a dangerous kind of road to go in. If you can keep the enemy still, yeah, it's insanely strong. once you reach that point of if you are having to run away, like if your mercenary collapses or if you can't trap them somewhere and they start walking out of it, or if you're bad at positioning and can't get them to walk along it, then you start having trouble with Firewall. That's why I don't recommend it for new players, but if you're seasoned with the game, it can be fairly decent. But yeah, Firewall is a good skill. It's just, it takes patience to learn how to use. Is probably the best way I can express it. So let's go. Oh yeah, I don't have Kane here because this is hell difficulty. I don't care. We're fine.
The order welcomes you.
That is hilarious. If that had some way to like auto repair or something like that, that would actually be almost upgrade worthy. And we would have to lose a mod though, because we've got max damage, we've got attack rating, we've got life leech, mana leech, enhanced damage. It could potentially have one left over. Yeah, it could potentially have one or two left over. Yeah. Holy Freeze Mercenary. I wouldn't use an Act 3 for it. There are techniques where you drop the firewall and you run along the firewall. That was the old school technique, and it would still work nowadays. In case you guys are wondering, yes, it is possible to do it without having them stuck in one location. You have them run along the wall. So, yeah. And Frozen Orb helps keep them slowed down while you're doing that. Not the worst Poignard, but it's not good. Do we keep the Eyes and Hearts? Why the hell not? I'll just keep it. So we're looking okay. I've got some spare broadswords that we can make some more stuff in. We're looking good there. Let's start in on hell then. I am going to condense these since we are in this difficulty. Let's see. Those can go in. Those can go in. Those are not quite ready, but we do have those. So that's going to give us a perfect emerald. Got another flawless diamond. Okay, let's condense. There we go. Oh, we do actually have... There you go. That's going to give us a normal sapphire. There we go. Condensed a little bit. But let's see. What else do we have? I think we're good for the rest of that. Which rune word is best, Rhyme or Ancient's Pledge? You need to decide with your Hammerden. I prefer Rhyme. I am level 60, I believe. Yeah, 60. Almost 61. You tried everything. You can't kill Act 2. What? Sorry. Did you try leveling up a little bit? Oh, you're level 24? What class are you having trouble with? Just out of curiosity.
Oppose me. Beware.
My skill tree? I'm working on Poison Nova right now, but just max raise skeleton, 1 point in most other things, and then summon skeleton mastery. Yeah, the Diablo 3 Necro plays extremely different from the Diablo 2 Necro. Level 23 Summon Necro. Iron Maiden can help you out a little bit. You want a lot of skeletons on him. Duriel will beat the crap out of a lot of people, but... Ooh. Yes, please. You technically can farm Act 2 until level 25. Because of the Canyon of the Magi. But yeah, you just drop Iron Maiden on Duriel and just keep throwing your Golem in front of him. Throw your Golem in front of him, not your skeletons. He's going to trash your skeletons at that level. Gem Shrine works just like in normal Diablo 2 here. But no, Duriel you want to be using your Golem against on normal difficulty. You want to throw your Golem down, use Iron Maiden, just keep throwing your Golem in front of him. Chug mana potions to keep your Golem up. Using just your normal summons against him it's not gonna work in normal. You want him hitting your Golem, because he does 4 times damage to your Golem. Iron Maiden then returns that damage as a percent. Like I said, don't bother with your skeletons. The skeletons will get you there, and they'll help in the initial battle, but you're using your Golem. Your Golem is the main tool. Golem and Iron Maiden. Period. Everything else is just helping it along. I forget what level we were whenever we killed Duriel in normal. I think we were like level 16 or 17, weren't we? You got him to 30% with just your skellies? You don't have to leave the game. Just take a town portal back to town, get some more skellies, and drop back in there again. Act bosses don't heal until you leave the game. You can leave the area, just don't leave the game and they won't heal. That's why I don't recommend Summon Necro to new players. Because if you got him to 30% with just your skeletons, he should die the second time you go in there with full skeletons. Act bosses do not heal, period. They don't actually have any function to heal. I mean, we killed him at low level. We killed him at low level with the Summon Necromancer. you don't leave the game, you town portal out. If you leave the game and start a new game, yeah, he'll heal. But he doesn't heal in the same game that you're in. He literally... It's coded to make him not. He has no healing function. But anyway. If you need level 24, then go farm the Canyon of the Magi. Farm the other dungeons. Diablo 3 is not Diablo 2. No, normal enemies will heal over time because they have a healing function. All the act bosses have their healing function set to 0, unless there is an exception. The Ubers will heal, but the act bosses don't. The act bosses are set to 0. Depends on your class, Thomas. If you're a ranged class, Delirium can be pretty nice. If you find yourself getting hit a lot, I wouldn't do it until you get a little bit more used to juking and dodging. So, anyway. But yeah, Delirium is a solid rune word, but if you do find yourself getting smacked around a little bit, he can be extremely dangerous. So, yeah. Because you'll shapeshift and you won't be able to use any of your skills. For your Hammerdin and your Act 2 Nightmare. I generally don't use Delirium on Hammerdins because you are in the thick of it so much. That's groovy, Nom. That is perfectly fine. Have a good day. I tried being nice about that, but yeah. It's best to kill Ubers in one go with no potion refilling. Ubers will heal over time. But, yeah. Generally speaking, I don't do Delirium on Hammerdins because they are in the thick of things and they will get hit. They will transform. But, let's see. Best to kill Ubers in one go with no potion refilling. You can drop potions on the ground, but yeah. I would generally not leave Ubers alone. They will heal completely off. I need to start paying attention to what I'm doing here. I'm just leaving these things alive. They're getting revived, and our guys are just killing the same thing over and over again. Arachnid Mesh. There's a few areas to farm it. Most of mine, I've just found farming level 85 areas. The Pit in Hell is a really good place to farm that kind of stuff. I forget which bosses can drop it. But it is one of those, like, you have to be in the highest level areas to actually farm it, which is the Pit, Ancient Tunnels, if you're just farming it from normal enemies. There's some super uniques that can drop it. I forget if Pindle can. I don't think he can. I'm not positive on that one just off the top of my head. Because I don't usually farm Pindle. I know. Surprise. I can't stand repeatedly bashing my head against a low-level enemy. Meph can drop it? Yeah. Mephisto can drop a lot of stuff. His problem is he doesn't have access to, like... He's high enough level, he doesn't have access to all the drop pools that he needs to drop everything. I'm probably explaining that terribly, but the general idea behind it. Whereas Pindle is too low level. Oh, we're about to lose our mercenary. Hey, mercenary, don't die on me, please. How you doing there, little buddy? Okay, so we have 4 monsters remaining in here. I don't think we... Yeah, we can't get it to do the 666 thing, can we? All mana users should aim for a Shaco and Spirit for the extra mana and skills. Shaco's a really good one. I wouldn't say all. The Druid should actually be aiming for a 5 NATO.
Is that enough to earn the rogue's trust?
But a 5 NATO is basically a +2 Druid skill, +3 Tornado Druid helmet. But we just got ourselves another skill point. Sweet! So there's more Poison Nova. We can get 1 more point in it, then we can start investing in the synergies. And we haven't been using it very often. It's there. +1 traps, not worth it. Reason that's not worth it is we have this. Just straight better. And with not having to do a bunch of... We are still not getting some of the stuff that we want. Oh, there's another teleport staff. Do I buy a second one? I don't really wanna. Nah. We'll just use the one we've got. She wants us to kill Blood Raven. That's fine. I'm not gonna do it, but it's fine that she wants us to. Let's see. Charcy, how much is it going to cost to actually repair our stuff, by the way? 67.5. Okay. I think, yeah, she doesn't really have anything I want. That's fine. As we start getting up in levels, we'll start being able to gamble even more fun things, though. Wind Druid is the strongest build in hell. Not worth the energy and time. Takes too much farming. Wind Druid's not that hard to get good stuff for. I mean, just run spirits and an Insight Merc and he's fine. Do I really want to kill Blood Raven? No. We can. And you, oh, by the way, see, it shows prayer on here. That's just a visual bug. It doesn't actually cause him to use prayer. Because you can see we are returning the damage. But no, Wind Druid is perfectly fine. There's a lot of people who are like, you have to have a Hodo and all this. No, you don't. The Wind Druid, throw a couple spirits on him, maybe find a good +1 skill armor, and you're fine. It's just like the people who get mad that lightning requires infinity to be good in hell. No, lower resist wand, you're fine. It's like, dudes. My dudes. Calm down. It's not that hard. It's a simple game. It's all about just, you need to make them able to be damaged. It's fine. Ooh, and that's going to actually work out quite good because these guys are going to murder themselves. Especially if our mercenary just stays back there and does nothing and doesn't get killed over here. Okay, super healing potions, yes. Do you want to keep an eye out for full rejuves? Because we eventually want to get into 2 rows of full rejuves. This is going to be Blood... No, it's not Blood Raven. Oh, yeah, it's the middle. Blood Raven would be on an edge, because you can see you have a square thing. And then, yeah. You're only interested in builds that can clear hell without skipping immunities. What other builds can you recommend? The Wind Druid can clear hell without skipping immunities. Tornado and Twister are physical, and the Hurricane is cold. The Fire Orb Sorceress can clear hell without having to skip immunities because you have Fire and Orb. The Summon Necromancer can because you have amp damage to make the skeletons go brrr. The Bone Necromancer does have to skip immunities, but there's only a handful of enemies that are immune to magic. Similar situation for the Hammerdin. You can use Smite to overcome that. You can use Summons as the Bone Necromancer if you really want, or just let your Mercenary handle it with the use of Bone Wall and stuff. The Assassin can do it with Lightning and Kicks, with Lightning Traps and Kicks, or Lightning Traps and Fire Bombs. You can do it with the Barbarian using Berserk, or you can do Frenzy Barbarian with the Berserk Synergy if you really want. There is... He doesn't really have many other options besides that, besides Warcry and Berserk. You have... Oh, we're getting smacked in the face. Sorry. I need to move. So that's Barbarian, Necromancer, Druid, Paladin, Assassin. Amazon does Javelins, which is physical and lightning. Let's see. What was the last one that I haven't talked about? I know I'm missing one because I've only mentioned 6 classes. We've done Necromancer, we've done Paladin, we've done Druid, we've done Barbarian, we've done Sorceress, we've done Assassin. And, no, we did all 7. Who's wearing the Bramble? Nobody's wearing the Bramble. We've got a Thorns Mercenary. Because we're going after boss kills and getting through the act, not going after sweeping areas. If we were sweeping areas, Might would be better. Because against these enemies, we'd be doing more damage with Might. But whenever we're going to be facing off against Andariel, Duriel, Mephisto, we want them actually smacking these guys and doing damage back to themselves. Let's go ahead and get some bodies. Get some revives going in there too. And I want to get the Fallens, if at all possible, with the revive. Because we have a camp right here. This is Stony Field, so we do need to find the waypoint. That's why I'm going around the outside. And you could get the same effect with an Edge Bow and an Act 1 Mercenary. Though if you're doing an Act 1 Mercenary with this, I would go with Fire Arrow. Just to make things a little bit easier. For some reason, that guy reminded me of someone else that I have blocked recently. Which makes me wonder if it may have been a troll. Hence the ban. In case anyone's curious as to why I was... After all that, I ended up banning him. And it has to do with spellcaster mana user. Don't like melee because of the chances to hit with weapons. Spells always hit monsters. Some melee hits monsters all the time. Smite does. But, no, the Wind Druid can totally destroy everything in hell without having to worry about immunities. But the only thing that he can't directly hurt is a physical cold dual immune, which is kind of uncommon. You're generally only going to see that with ghosts. So it's not that bad. Some stone skins can get it as well. But it's super uncommon. It's only boss mobs that can be dual immune to that. So I think we know our way down. Did we actually already get the waypoint? Yeah, we already did. It's over there. So we can go. For some reason, my brain was not recognizing that we had already gotten the waypoint. So in we go. Murder all the goodies. But let's see. Oh, no, it's not going to be down right. It's going to be, we have the exit. It's a top left exit, so it's going to be straight from here. Usually. It's not always in this one, but it's usually just, this is the square, the exit's that way, so the way out is going to be facing up that way. Thoughts on best mercenary weapon for a summoner? Probably would go for a Reaper's Toll. If I had to choose, like, the best weapon for me, Reaper's Toll, or I'm forgetting the name of it off the top of my head. The one that gives concentration wouldn't be too bad either. Because you can cast the Decrepify yourself. So if you have the concentration, that's just more damage. You do Might, Concentration, Amplify damage, and just totally wreck things' faces. You could do Reaper's Toll and just be super lazy, which is an option. Because Reaper's Toll would just cast the Decrepify for you, and you would never have to actually cast anything except for to resummon your dudes. Really just kind of depends on how lazy you want to be, because Summoner, very lazy build. It just really is. It's one of those that you can get away with just being completely slovenly about. Especially as you get into the later game. But yeah, if I had to choose the best, it would be the, I'm wanting to say it's Oath that has concentration. Just if I'm going off the top of my head. I don't have the rune word list in front of me, and it's not one that I use a ton. I have a couple of them just laying around, but on single player. But I really just don't use them very often because I don't play Summoner too much. No Infinity for crushing for CB and defense reduction? No. Infinity's nice. Infinity would be perfectly fine with it, but I'd rather have the concentration for a strictly summoner. Because once your minions are the same level as you, in case you're wondering, in case anyone's curious, minions are the same level as their caster. So if you're level 95, your minions are level 95. So leveling up will make your minions hit more. You don't necessarily need the defense reduction to make them hit. And you may notice they are actually hitting even though we are technically under-leveled. So, because these guys are higher level than us right now. But they're still hitting. I forget what our attack rating is on these guys. 680. Not great, but not the worst thing ever. But with Might and Concentration and Amp damage, you're doing a ton of damage. Because you're getting many multipliers on top of that. And I'm killing these guys because they're good XP. Because they be champions. And if we see red ones, we just don't go that way. Because the red ones are the camps. Like, that's a camp right there. That's going to actually be kind of handy to be able to see. Oh, this is just back on that path. I have a feeling our exit is right there. So let's go ahead and run up there. We'll check. Infinity is also better used on other characters. So you're kind of like, if you're using it on your Necromancer, you're not using it on your Sorceress. Unless you're transferring it every single time. So, to each their own. What are you little buggers doing? I keep hearing them crunching. So, any whoozle, what's it? Yeah, pretty much any high rune word will be fine, though. If you're just asking for, like, the best. And also, you don't need that oath on anybody else, so it's just there. So, anywho. The pit is in Act 1, yes. It is in Tomoe Highland outside of... You generally get there by going to the outer cloister and just going into Tomoe Highland from there. Beast main hand. It's good for fanaticism and stuff like that. I have thought about running a dual beast barbarian. Just for the lulz. But... For a necromancer, I'd actually rather still have the plus skills, unless I had like a ton from somewhere else. Let's go ahead and identify that. It is garbage. Let's go ahead and drink those, and we have ourselves our second column of full reduce. And there's our tree. So if we find the waypoint, these guys are just going to murder themselves. Extra fast, extra strong, just thorns. They're going to kill themselves faster than I ever could. Let's grab you. These spike fiends could be a bit of a problem because they're ranged. That's one reason why might is often preferred for clearing areas. But yeah, I'd rather have plus skills, usually, because I don't just... Generally, even whenever I'm doing a summoner, I don't go just pure summons. Because it does get a little bit boring to just sit there and let them do everything for me. It's not as cathartic for me as it may sound. And that didn't drop any good healing potions? You bastard. We're just not getting... any magic find boosters either, really. It's kind of sad. Let's go looking for that there waypoint. I'm going to go around the long way. Are there any good face tank Mephisto and normal character if you want to make someone just to smash him over and over in normal for Lobby loot? Holy Fire Paladin's a really good place to start with that. You also have... Honestly, most melee characters will do fine. Yeah, you can CE as well. Corpse Explosion is really powerful. I mostly do it because I mostly don't do it because I'm being lazy, but it can help you get through a lot of like sticky situations. It really is a good skill. Especially if you're playing solo. Because, well, it doesn't scale with the player count, but whenever it's just one player count, it's going to do reasonable amounts of damage. See? It does its job, which is murder with the corpses of its friends. And you may notice our skeletons are still sticking around. They're not maxed out skeletons. I usually just do Holy Fire with Zeal. You can get a little bit of Mana Leech and it'll cover the cost of Zeal. Zeal is cheap. Especially as you get higher level Zeal, you leech on every single hit. Also, depending... I don't know what level you're thinking of farming it at either. Yeah, Corpse Explosion is really nice with like plus skills and stuff. I don't like investing a lot of points into it because it doesn't improve its damage. Holy Fire with Zeal, yeah, with Zeal. But if you're talking like you're wanting a level like 40-something character to farm Mephisto, just go with a Sorceress with Teleport and Blizzard. If you want melee, you go with a Barbarian and Frenzy. But if you're talking like low-level farming Mephisto, Holy Fire Paladin's your go-to. So, just because it just does a ton of damage. Especially for normal difficulty. You can even kill Mephisto with a gold dagger with that build. Yeah, Necromancer is pretty much the quintessential one-point wonder. I mean, our 1-point Golem is doing fine. Well, he's technically 3 points. He's 1 point in Mastery, 1 point in other stuff. But 1 point in the Golem itself. Level 25 to 30. I would just go with a Holy Fire Paladin. Just beat the snot out of it. Use the Paladin to get... Let's see. To get your socket quest so you have some more sockets. Can you still off-screen meth with a Blizzard source? I haven't tried. I know you can river him, though. That's an ugly staff. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's ugly. But yeah, Holy Fire Paladin, just it's the beginner Paladin build on the channel is fine for that. You have a level 80 Bonemancer and not a new player. You PvP some, but people do not like Bone Spirit. They don't like Bone Spirit? You like Bone Spirit for certain mobs and different tunes in PvP. Do you use Bone Spirit on your bone? I use Bone Spirit for bosses. I use Bone Spear for crowds, Bone Spirit for bosses. So mostly you'll see me casting Spear when I'm running a Bonemancer, but you'll see me using Spirit for like killing Diablo, for example, or killing Mephisto, because it's just faster. If you have an Insight Mercenary, you can usually spam Spear forever, but you can't do that with Spirit. Just pull the steps and telly over. That's what I call rivering, usually. Yeah, Moat Trick is another name for it. Yeah, Moat Trick is perfectly fine. Yeah, you can still do Moat Trick with the Sorceress. You can do Moat Trick with anybody. I could do Moat Trick with this character and a short bow. It's not exactly a terrible thing. Oh, we were one off of circle. You bastard game. You didn't give me good stones on any of these. You're new to the game, trying to learn while playing casually. There's Summon Necro. What gear should I be going for in normal into Nightmare? You know, chest is stealth, but what about weapon and helmet? Plus skills. Helmet should be lore. Ort and soul in a 2-socket helmet. Weapon, it depends on what you find. In Nightmare, you can make a... Like, your helmet should be a lore. Just like this. This is your helmet. This is the weapon you're aiming for in Nightmare, but you can't get this in normal usually. Not easily, at least. You can also get white, which is Dole, and Io, which is also a Nightmare thing. But in normal, you're just using whatever you can find, unfortunately. The main thing you're going to need to be wary of as a Summon Necromancer is going to be Diablo. He's going to wreck your shit in normal, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. He's going to wreck your shit. What you'll be doing against him is you will be summoning golems, Iron Maiden. Summoning golems, Iron Maiden. Run away, go heal, go find some like other stuff. Come back with a full army, Iron Maiden. Your army's gonna die probably in one wave of fire. Keep goleming and Iron Maiden. Your mercenary's gonna die. Keep goleming and Iron Maidening. It's going to feel like you're grinding your face on sandpaper, but he will eventually die. What rune should you aim for with level 35 Zealot and Nightmare? I would generally go for black, which is Thul Io Nef, if you can get it. The Io's going to be the hard part. You could also go for Steel or Strength on a weapon, just for some crushing blow or bleed. Malice isn't bad for Nightmare. It's not great, but it's not bad. You usually would want to upgrade it, or just grab or just grab a rare. There's a lot of options for the rune words. As far as like the equipment, if you can get it, a duress armor is nice for him, for a paladin, because it gives you crushing blow, gives you a little boost of damage, gives you some resist. Just all around a good armor. Yeah, there's better specific use case ones, but solid. Helmet. Honestly, if I had a choice, I'd go Guillaume's, but helmet-wise, lore's not bad. Radiance is worse than lore. I don't like Nadir. It's not my favorite thing. Just gonna put that one out. I really don't like Nadir. I know there's people who adore it, but I don't. Really don't. It just doesn't give me enough to justify the frustration. And I can use that on a melee guy. Level 16, sure, we'll keep it. Keep forgetting I don't have access to my single player stuff on Battle.net. So I'm looking at that, that's like garbage. I can use it. Because that's a good amount of attack rating. But we got ourselves a Monarch. We're going to 4-socket that soon enough. Make ourselves a second spirit. So we need to start dumping into strength. So, and I think we have... Yeah, we have all the stuff to make another spirit, too. We're going to take several levels and we're just going to be dumping into strength. Yeah, early game you can also shop for a plus skills wand, yes. +1 is what you're going to be looking for. Or even just, literally just plus skills. You can shop Drognin for plus skills. In Act 2. So let's see. Let's go ahead. And we're definitely going to get through Act 1 today. I am feeling that there itch. If you're wondering, tomorrow's, by the way, going to be the shield rune word video. So there's going to be some ideas in there for your shields for that Necromancer. And then I'm aiming for Friday for the armor one. I might actually get it out on Thursday. We'll see. Because I have to go through each of the weapons individually as well. And I will do a special one that's just casters. Because caster weapons are going to be all different weapon types. But we'll still mention the stuff in the swords and the scepters and stuff like that. I should check that. 3-socket battle cry. Nope. I'm slightly saddened by that spiderweb sash. If that was unique, that would have been awesome sauce. So anyway, how far has everyone gotten in the game, by the way? Just out of curiosity. And yeah, with the Insight Mercenary, I can corpse explode as much as I would like. Which means no bodies for you! Is this my favorite game? No. Is this a game that I find cathartic and easy to play? Yes. Find it relaxing to play this game. My favorite game, probably Final Fantasy VI. Just, if anyone's really curious about that. But Final Fantasy VI, I can't just sit here and play end-to-end and actually have a lot of enjoyment out of. I just like going through it every now and then. Mana Recharge Shrine, sure. Doing hell bell runs with your 1-point smite pally. No! Get Holy Shield on it. That's the definite thing that you need to do on there. The smite level doesn't really matter too much. I should probably have amp damaged these guys, by the way. Is your favorite followed by Final Fantasy VII? I've actually been debating, and maybe chat can help me solve this. I'll make a poll about it too eventually. But I'll take chat feedback on this. For the Let's Play channel, I have been humming and hawing between... Because you have to... I'm going to let you behind the scenes of YouTube for a while. For a channel to get traction, it has to specialize. So my Let's Play channel, I'm specializing in RPGs. We're going to be doing a lot of action RPGs. We're going to be doing Diablo 2. This is where we're going to host all of our Let's Plays on there. We're going to host the cut-up VODs. We're also going to be doing other action RPGs like Last Epoch, Grim Dawn, Path of Exile, etc. But I want to add a second branch of RPG so I don't completely go like nutso burnout. And wow, they murdered his face. I didn't even see him dying. Oh yeah, extra fast, extra strong. I mean, extra strong spectral hit, magic resistant. Okay, yeah, she murdered his face. I'll let them murder that real quick, and then we'll go revive him. Yep, 20 Holy Shield, 20 Sack, 20 Zeal, 20 Fanatic. Oh, you are just straight up Zealot Smiter. That's a fairly straightforward Zealot. Get yourself some Crushing Blow and you're set. That's actually not far off of what I run on my Paladin. Because I'm not, as much as I love Tesladin, it's not necessarily my go-to. Spare points into Defiance is fine. Could also do like a couple points into Vengeance for an element source if you really wanted to. It's kind of like an opinion there. What about Dark Souls? I like Dark Souls. I've never beaten it.
When I fled the monastery, what can I do for you?
It's one of those things where I'm just kind of like, Let's go ahead and dump that in there. Your Uber Tristram build. But yeah, Vengeance is kind of crap, but I like it. It's one of those, like, I have a soft spot for certain skills, and that's on the list. I have a soft spot for Poison Dagger, too, for those of you that are curious about just, like, what kind of stupid crap I like messing around with. Flawless Topaz. Let's go ahead and grab the healing potions from this. Don't forget a Life Tap Wand. Yeah, Life Tap Wand. If you don't have an Exile Shield, Life Tap Wand is amazing. There are other sources of Life Tap, though. So let's go ahead and bring that up. But yeah, Life Tap Wands are just nice to have around. If you see one floating, grab it. So I think we are max, yeah, Nova. So I'm going to go for Dagger next. You say all action RPGs games? I'm gonna catch flack for this. Oh, and I meant to put that in strength. It's fine though. I'm gonna catch flack for this. I consider Dark Souls more in line with the Spectacle Fighter. Yeah, Drax is good. Exile is still the best because it gives you that Defiance aura and the Life Tap super reliably. But it's super expensive. Whereas Dracul's Grasp is like super easy to get. It can drop a lot of places. But yeah, Dark Souls is a good game. That'd be on there. But anyway, I know I just completely went off on a tangent. What I was contemplating between was JRPGs or CRPGs. For those of you who are wondering what those are, it is basically Western RPGs or Eastern RPGs. JRPGs are usually more turn-based, kind of focused around playing kind of turn things and have more story-driven, whereas CRPGs are more character-driven. Exile is Paladin-only shields, and easily one of the strongest shields in the entire game. Super expensive. Like, we're not even joking expensive. It's something most people will not ever make solo self-found. Yeah, it's the Pally Shield Runeword. And yes, I am grabbing the waypoint here because I do plan to farm this off screen. Because this is a good place.
I need a key.
But we need the waypoint to make it a good place. But see, the reason for the dilemma is because around the same time I was getting into this, I was getting into Baldur's Gate. But the games that got me into gaming in general were JRPGs. Final Fantasy 1. Yeah, Vex Om Ist Dol. See, expansive. It's expansive. Especially considering Vex. Om is sort of expensive. Vest is definitely expensive. CRPGs for life. See, I like CRPGs, but there's not nearly as many CRPGs. Like, good ones, at least. Why do you have trade chat? Game? Why does it keep doing that? It's a bug. You had it back in the day before you lost your characters? Yeah. I had a lot of things on Battle.net before I stopped playing on Battle.net. I have 2 exiles in single player now. If that tells you just how sad and pathetic that is. There's our Eisenhardt sword. I think we already have one of those. Do I? No, I'm not going to do the axe thing on multiplayer. No. I need to not talk myself into that. I have been gathering Berserker axes for a thing. For a very stupid thing. Yay, physical immunes. You're amp damage, so you're going to die. And let's go ahead and get some mages. Just for a little bit of elemental damage. But yeah, the axe get quicker as you get into Nightmare in Hell with this build. Simply because you don't have to go through all the other nonsense. Oh, geez. Flawless skull, please. Barb beasts. I have thought about trying a dual beast barb. I have the stuff for it. Because yes, I do have 2 beast axes. I don't have them transferred over to Resurrected yet. You had a 6-socket runeward hell polearm type for your whirlwind barb back years ago. It's Pride and Joy. Was it silence by any chance? Because that sounds like a silence barb. This is a dead end. Yep. I don't know where our mercenary is. There he is. Hi, friend. There's our exit. Hi. Or was it one of the ethereal ones like Breath of the Dying or something like that? Because I have thought about trying to use the Breath of the Dying spears that we have for a polearm barb. But, I mean, not for a polearm barb, for a spear barb. But I'm kind of on the fence about it. Oh no, he's physical immune. And he's fire immune as well. That's going to be slow. Something drop a gem. I thought I heard a gem drop. He's going down. And yeah, he goes physical immune again. Because I didn't keep amp damage on him. Bye, friend. So our exit is there, so it's going to be down angled. Go, my friends. Murder. Murder. Death. Destruction. Magic. No. See? Corpse explosion. It's your friend. So what I'm thinking the layout on this one is going to be, it's going to loop around back into itself. So there's not a lot we can do with it. Was silence. Ah, yeah. Silence, it gets a bad rap because it's not the best in slot rune word for anything, but it's good. That's one thing that kind of irks me about a lot of like mentalities people have regarding builds and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not the fastest build. It's not the best item. Just because of that doesn't mean it's not good. It just means it's not best. I mean, that's like saying, oh, I don't want $1 million because $1 billion is more. I wouldn't mind $1 million. Would I rather have $1 billion? Yes, but I'm not going to say no if someone wants to give me $1 million. I'll be like, thank you, sir. Would you like paper or plastic? Meta or nothing. Fun or nothing is my meta. If I have a build I want to try that is completely freaking stupid. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna play those rabies druids. I'm gonna play the freaking pacifist paladin. It's like, why not? It doesn't have to be best in slot to be fun. I mean, for a long time, Holy Shock was laughed at as being just, oh, derpy Oradin. Ha ha ha. And now it's considered one of the best melee builds in the game. Because of Dream, but still. We're going to have another loop one here. You could solo hell, so it was all good for you. Yep. That is my own... If I can get through hell difficulty, that is my condition for a build being good enough. Is it best? No. Good enough. You do want skill skill reworks and new rune words. I wouldn't mind fixing some of the broken skills. Fend... Arctic Blast. I know that they've done some fixing on Fend, but it's not fixed. I would like to see Fend, Arctic Blast, Inferno fixed. Made actually reasonable. And I'd like to see Act 3 Mercenaries made reasonable. It's okay. I figured it was an accidental caps. But yes, Hydra is... another one that needs some adjustment. It doesn't need fixing. It needs adjustment. Even if it's just removal of the casting delay on it. Removal of the casting delay would actually make it viable, in my opinion. So. Because as it stands right now, you just can't get enough of them out to make it really worthwhile. Act 3 mercenaries are the only ones that need help. I think the Act 1 mercenaries are viable. The Act 5 mercenaries are viable. Are they as good as Act 2 mercenaries? No. In most cases. In all cases. There's actually cases where they are as... Excuse me. But Act 3 mercenaries, all they need is to have masteries added to their skill list and they'd be good. Currently farming Hell Ancient Tunnels on your level 73 Blizzsource, Mage Fist, Viper Magi, and Lem so far. Sweet. Congratulations. Those are actually some good finds. I could use some more runes. Can you guys actually kill that thing? They're hitting it. It's just not doing any damage. It's a little bit strange. There he goes. I guess they were hitting another one? The main problem with the Act 3 mercenaries is damage just doesn't keep up in any respect. If it could get masteries, it would be just fine. Because then you'd actually have reasonable lightning damage on the lightning one. You'd have reason... Because it gets synergies. It just doesn't get mastery. So we're on to level 4. Boop. We're kind of chilled for like an hour and a half right now, by the way. Ouch. And yeah, these are just going to keep running away. We're a little bit under-leveled. I'd like to be 70 for here. I don't even think you necessarily need auras for all mercenaries. I think you could actually make Act 1 mercenaries overpowered if you give them the wrong auras. So, how's it going, Kenny? I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? I was just going on a rant about meta and mercs. But I do use... Ow! You shits. But I do use Act 1 mercenaries for some things. They're mostly gimmicky builds, but it's still usable. I'll use an Act 1 Merc if I want fanaticism on stuff and like things like that. Mercenary. It is. Don't need the Spetum, don't need the Scimitar, don't know why I picked him up. Probably accident. You were lucky to get off the Nightmare Forge. You think that's the highest Nightmare Forge can drop? I forget what the highest Nightmare Forge can drop. We got an off of it, too. Resist fire and resist cold auras to get Act 1 mercenaries might be cool. I'm not entirely sure. Will characters get nerfs and buffs as time goes on with Diablo 2? Resurrected? No idea. No one knows for sure. People who claim to know for sure, they either have to work for Vicarious Visions or be just pulling things out of their ass. I appreciate you watching the Diablo streams, Peter. How are you doing today? I wouldn't like sweeping overhauls of the skills. I wouldn't mind seeing a new class added, though. That would actually be kind of fun. Just one new class, add some rune words. Give us a... trying to think what gap would need to be filled. Because the druid kind of fell into that area of he's got too many shoes to fill. Because he's like trying to be 3 different classes. He's trying to be a summoner. He's trying to be these other things. Hey, we got another unique. Da 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 da. Not great, but it's there.
I can't.
What do we have in there? Oh, we've got the Eisenheart sword. That can go away. I wouldn't mind another shape-shifting class. Honestly. Been playing Diablo 2 on Switch? Awesome. I don't even think Enigma needs to be nerfed, honestly. It keeps the Sorceress from being the only Magic Find class. It opens things up. But I would actually love to see another shape-shifting class. Even if it's just like shape-shifting into elementals. Take the Sorceress and turn it into shape-shifting melee attacks. What would I do with a Barbarian? Depends on where you're at. I think a controller would be cool. Something like where you control enemies instead of summoning them. Not sure how that would work with bosses, though. So basically you're thinking like a Mesmer from Guild Wars. Yeah, I figured out what you meant. That would actually be a cool one as well. Basically, instead of converting them like we have here, you actually take them over. How do I see the details of mobs? I just hover the mouse over them and it puts it at the top. If you're playing on console, you don't get that. No, Mercenary, don't die. If you're playing on console, you get the display above their heads. I'm trying to pick up that plated belt. He's going around the other way. Why do people avoid putting points into skeletal mages for so long? They are terrible. They're not the worst thing ever. They're just not good. You can actually kill things with them, but they don't do anything compared to the standard. Hey, we got another Ith rune. But they just don't do anything compared to their normal skeleton counterparts.
Treasure hunting. Treasure finding. Yes.
Okay, back to town we go. And yes, I am taking Saigons. I will gladly have 2 sets of Saigons. A controller class in Old School Nox. That is the... I'm trying to remember the name of it. There's the warrior, the wizard, and the... I think it starts with a CH, like channeler or chant, something like that. But yeah. The one that summoned the little bomb dudes. You're level 22 and having trouble with Viper's Lair? Ah, no. What class are you? Oh, you're talking about on Barbarian. You're playing the Barbarian. Okay. Oh, that's going to be a sucky area for you. I'm sorry, it really is. Because you've got to get in there and get personal, and you're not going to have the gear for it if you're going through solo self-found as a Barbarian. You're not going to have a lore helmet in normal. You could have some topazes. Throw some topazes in a helmet. That'll be fine. Let's go ahead and condense these up. Boom. And we'll throw those in there. Throw that out. Throw those in. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it below 4 of each. But yeah, the Viper's lair is going to be a pain in the ass. I'm just telling you right now, that's not going to be a fun place for you. Yeah, I need to invest in Magic Find, but it's fine. But topazes and a shield would work for you. Ort runes, if you can craft some from raw runes from farming, put those in your helmet or armor, and that'll help you with the snake guys as well, because you're going to run across the lightning enchanted guy down in the basement. If you're dealing with the regular ones, don't run. Yeah, just farm a little. If you're having a lot of trouble with just the normal Vipers, don't run. Walk. Because, here, let's go ahead and open up our stat screen. You notice when I'm running, watch this right here. Normally, I talk shit on defense. Because, well, defense, it's not useless. It's just, it determines whether they hit or not. So, if we are walking, we keep the entirety of our defense, and we lose some of our block rate, but we're fine. If we're running, we lose all of that defense, and things are going to smack us a lot easier. The same is true on the Barbarian. It's true on every class. So if you're walking through those tunnels, you're going to get hit less. Whenever they charge you, they'll sometimes whiff and not even do anything to you. So that is something to keep in mind. We're really doing crappy on skulls. We've gotten one perfect skull. We've gotten multiple perfects of everything else. Skulls are supposed to drop reduced, but yeah. Necro has the worst block rate. Necro has... I don't ever go for block on Necro, if that tells you anything. I'm really surprised we haven't gotten a Co-rune. Speaking of shields. Because a Co-rune would be kind of useful. We need another rune. We need to make a bone armor eventually if we're going to go bone with this guy. But we've done that. We've done this. We're going to do Andariel today. I don't think we're going to get Act 2 done, though. Unless I actually, try to rush it. Which I don't feel like rushing it. I feel like playing for fun. That is something that I will continue to press out there is all these people who are like, you're not through hell by now? I'm playing for fun. I have beaten the game so many damn times. I want to have fun. Got a rainbow of gems. My gems are organized. It keeps me from going insane. Let's go ahead and revive some of these things because they're going to get revived by the shamans anyway. You never used a barbarian unless you had unless it was a buff class or a one that already had gear. I've done barb through untwinked. I usually go with the dual flail malice build, but there's other options. Strength. Hey, we remembered to do it this time. You don't know if I said anything on it, but what do I think about them getting rid of e-bugging, kind of like cubing eth armors for mercenaries? On one hand, I'm trying to think of how to state my stance on that. In the most basic sense of it, I'm fine with it. This is because I'm not really interested in being a min-maxer. Now, for PvP and stuff, e-bugging made a difference. For mercenaries, e-bugging made a difference. So it does change that slightly. Not enough to, make any builds not work, but it changes it slightly. Yes, Countess farming gets better with leveling. No, it gets better with higher difficulty levels. Sorry, I was reading your thing whilst talking. Important stat for the Barbarian, Vitality. That's the important stat for everybody. Everything else is just getting your gear up. But Countess farming gets better with difficulty. So the way the Countess drops work, this is going to be a little bit of a probably more detailed explanation than you're wanting. But the Countess drops, regardless of difficulty, her most common drop is going to be a Tal rune, the T-A-L rune. Period. No ifs, no ands or buts. It's going to be a Tal rune. It's going to be a bell curve off from there. So the way it works is that as you go into higher difficulties, that bell curve gets cut off at different points. In normal difficulty, it gets cut off at Rawl, which is right above a Tal rune. So you're going to get a bunch of Tal and Rawl runes at normal. As you get into Nightmare difficulty, it cuts off, I'm wanting to say, I forget what it cuts off at in Nightmare. You can get some decent runes in Nightmare. I usually farm it for souls and stuff like that, but it cuts off a few more runes later. And then in Hell difficulty, it cuts off even a few more runes later. Like, you can technically get an Ist from her in Hell, but it's a super low chance. So, we just lost all of our little dudes. Corpses! I need you. There we go. We now have a little bit of an army. Okay, and we've got this layout again, which means it's going to be on the right. We'll grab that to sell. We can use some replenishment on our resources there. But yeah, it increases with difficulty. It's just a bell curve from that Tal rune out.
Greetings.
So regardless of what difficulty you're in, you're going to find mostly Tal runes. And I'm going to save that. Reason I'm saving that is for mercenary armor. Because I forget, I actually have that window open. Duress is... What runes are you, my friend? It's fairly low. Shale Thul. I think we have that. Can you actually equip that, mercenary? You cannot. Too high of strength required. It's an ornate plate. I keep forgetting that. I thought it was an ancient. It's going away. You appreciate it being on Switch, but PC is the preferred way to play. Yeah, pretty much. Switch is just good for being able to, like, sit in your bed and play, or sit on the bus and play, and stuff like that. I wouldn't say they necessarily messed up the release. I haven't tried it on Switch, but if it's just, the main thing is it's restricted to 4 players is the main thing that draws it back on me. I haven't heard of too many technical difficulties with it. A lot of farming can be done in single player. You're just going to be leveling slower on the Switch. The Switch is limited to 4 players in a multiplayer game, and you don't have access to the Players 8 command. That's what he's talking about. I wouldn't really call that, like, messing up the release. I actually haven't heard too many bugs from Switch people, but I've only heard of a couple Switch people playing. So they might just be the lucky few, and I just haven't ran across the people who play a bunch of it on the Switch. Can we get a revive on? Yeah, we can get revives out. You just beat Mephisto for the first time since you were a kid. Congratulations! Hopefully he dropped good stuff for you. part of the multiplayer aspects on Switch, by the way, are because of Nintendo. And it's just their own issues because they do not have good networking for Switch. If anyone's really curious about that. Murder! Go, Murder Squad, please. Thank you. In you go. Where are... Oh, they've already gone in. Okay. I actually haven't seen the Switch graphics, so I can't tell you if they're better or not. Or if they're just the same, but just smaller. Because it could just be running 720p, be perfectly fine on there. I wouldn't mind this at 720p, but I also grew up on classic consoles. I'm used to CRTs, where everything is intentionally fuzzy. Extra subscription for fee to play N64 games. I don't even have the Nintendo Plus or whatever it's called. I did a year-long free trial of it. It was okay. I did SNES and NES games on it. If I do end up doing Switch stuff for like the other channel, I'll probably pick it up, but that channel would have to start making money first to pay for it. Which it do not. The Let's Play channel do not make money. The Let's Play channel has 133 subscribers. It's just there. It exists. It does not make a penny. You have to have 1,000 subscribers to make any money off of a channel. And even then, that's usually just like a couple dollars a day. Kill him, my fools. Thank you. Okay, Demon Head, Grim Shield. Demon Head could potentially be good. It is not. It's garbage. So yeah, now we're just gonna go down and kill Andariel. That's all we have left. Nintendo has issues. It doesn't hate streamers. It's a completely different culture, though. The issues are a bit deeper than we like or don't like you. IP is viewed extremely differently in Japan than it is in the States. It took a lot of fighting to get things kind of squared away, to get it to where you can actually be treated without having to join a Nintendo partnership to actually show Nintendo games. But frankly, that's not even the worst thing to come out of a Japanese company. The worst thing to come out of a Japanese company, I would say, would still be Sega, where they literally killed channels for promotional purposes. They were releasing there's other reasons why they killed the channels too, which are even worse reasons. But the less bad reason was they were copyright striking them so that their own videos on a new Shining game releasing would rank. So they just went through and hit all the top videos with copyright claims, killing channels. The other part of it was the Shining Force 3 stuff issues. But they hit Shining Force 1 and 2 videos. They hit all kinds of stuff. That is the only series I've deleted out of fear of copyrights. I've deleted one video for copyrights as well, and that would be Muse Dash, which, Japanese music. Is another thing, but yeah, it's a cultural thing. That said, some of the Japanese streamers I've chatted with have been like really cool folks. So the Japanese streamers are fine. It's just the companies. You felt like you should get a first-time kill drop rate on the main bosses where you're guaranteed a set or unique. You're not quite guaranteed it, but you actually do get a bonus for first-time kill. And it's a fairly significant bonus. Like, to the point where it causes statistics to shift a fairly reasonable amount. Mind going over your gear stats and skills so you have an idea of where to take my Necro. Yeah, and just uno momento. Okay, region restrict videos. Actually, a lot of U.S. companies region restrict videos too. The Andariel bug, you do it by killing Andariel and going to Act 2 before leaving the game. Period. That's how you do the Andariel bug. There's a lot of like myths and rumors about other stuff. It's literally you just go to Act 2. You go to Wariv and you travel to the east. And that is the Andariel bug. But our gear, currently we have Spirit Broadsword, which is pretty easy to make. We'll be making a Spirit Monarch eventually. We have the Lore Helmet. We have an Eye of Etlik Amulet. Helmet, Amulet. We have Ancient's Pledge for our shield. We have a Monarch. We don't have 4 sockets in it. We will be probably making a Spirit Monarch. We have Stealth Armor, just because that's what we have. I would be using a plus skill armor if I found it, which you usually will. We just have some Resist Gloves. We have Resistance Ring. We have Resistance Belt. We have Resistance Boots with some faster run walk. And then just Life and Resist Charms. We're currently negative cold resist, though, so don't look at that. I am ashamed! Anyway, we've been doing... Let's see. Exit is that way, so yeah, we're going the right way. Does Magic Find help with rune drops? No. Magic Find only... The order things going... I'll be doing a video. I actually have a script I'm working on for this. And yes, I actually said script there, not just notes. But I'm working on because usually I just go by bullet points. But the script that I'm working on is one covering how drops work. Basically what happens, when we kill that ghost right there, what it does is it's like, okay, this ghost, it has these drop pools. Let's start rolling. It has died. Okay. So let's search through this massive list of drop pools. Random numbers, random numbers, random numbers. Is it no drop? In that case, it was not a no drop. It actually picked junk. I don't know. I don't remember which junk set this one's from, but it picked junk set. So it goes through junk set, and it chooses randomly. It could choose a jewel. It could choose a rune. It could choose a potion. It could choose a lot of things, gems, etc. from that junk pool. It picked a potion. So potion drops. Are there different quality levels on that potion? No. Well, there's super and stuff like that, but that's something else. But basically, it drops, and yeah. You made a Spirit Sword, but you can't seem to justify it over your 3 summoning, 2 summon resist wand. That wand is better. That wand is going to be better than a Spirit Sword. For your one specific use case, I make the Spirit Sword, and I use the Spirit Sword because I can use this Spirit Sword on a lot of different characters. But basically, we killed that guy, and the other ghost got a no drop, so it dropped nothing. This guy right here, if I can highlight him, Banehorn right there, he's going to be a boss mob. He has a guaranteed drop plus the 4 potion guarantee, so he's going to drop. So it rolls against his items. It says we have to drop something. So it's going to choose from his junk drop pools and his normal drop pools a non-potion item. So what it dropped, it just decided, okay, what did we drop there? We dropped a long warbow. So that pulled a long warbow from there, and then it rolled with my magic find and stuff like that to determine whether it's going to be unique, set, or magic, or rare. And since it's a magic long warbow, that actually could have been a set drop. First of all, because I don't remember if there's a set long warbow. I don't think there is. I'm actually positive there's not. So that could have been a set long warbow. And it just said, okay, since it can't drop a set of that, we're going to just make it magic. And Andariel bug still exists, at least last time we checked. I haven't tested it recently, so they might have patched it. But basically, it makes Andariel drop like first drop. He said +3 summoning. Yeah, +3 summon tree. I assumed +3 summon tree. If it's just +3 summon skeleton, then a spirit would be better. Because you'd be getting summon skeleton and your skeleton mastery. But 3 summon tree would actually give him 3 on both. I just go with this because it's just easy. And I don't have to think. White is pretty good as well. But spirit is usually my first thing I go for as far as swords and weapons and stuff like that, because it's just usable for a lot of things. A lot of the things I don't think they're going to end up patching because they're just there. We're going to go ahead and grab this. Nothing amazing in there. Ouch! You're not supposed to stab me. You're supposed to stab my skeletons, my dudes. And see, I don't need faster cast with this. I don't need faster hit recovery either. And that guy's in the wall. And this is going to be the stairs over here on the left. See? Yay! I know how the generation works. Let's see. But yeah, I just make the spirit sword because it is one of those staple items that I use on so many characters. And we actually got a good one. We got a 34% faster cast. That's 1% off of perfect. For what I use it for. Ouch! What died? Oh, lightning enchanted. That's what died. Clay Golem, 99% of the time, is going to be better than fire. There are some situations where fire can be better. But for just general use, without having to like worry about, well, this, and this situation, yes. Clay Golem is going to serve you better. Oh, we've got some might. There it is. Might actually doesn't cause as much of a problem for us as you would think. There we go. We're just murdering everything. Ow! No, don't hit me. I need my walls. What areas in normal nightmares of summon necro great at clearing farming? What should we be looking for? Generally, for the Necromancer, I farm cows if I'm doing a summoner. Just straight up, I'll farm cows. I'll do corpse explosion. It's just going to be a simple, easy thing to do. That's how you can hunt for runes with that. But you can farm pretty much anywhere with a summoner. I wouldn't bother farming Pindle with a summon Necromancer unless I had an Enigma to, like, telestomp him. Generally speaking, the summoner doesn't farm bosses until you get an Enigma. Easiest place to farm with them is going to be cows. You just run in there, you get a few cow kills, and then you corpse explode everything. Show them who's boss with explosions of their fellow cows. Ground beef them to death, if you will. Go, my minions! Mercenary, don't be a hero. Actually, those war javelins could be good. But yeah, you can farm pretty much anywhere with a summon necro. It's just a matter of... Oh, that's actually not a bad jewel. It's not a great jewel, but it's not a bad jewel. It's a 34% enhanced damage jewel, so it can go into armor and stuff like that. I normally wouldn't run Bale with it even either, because gloams. But I hate gloams, so that's why I don't usually do that. But yeah, he's fairly... If you're Bale running with other people, get a sorceress to teleport you down there, and he can wreck Bale's minions.
Good day.
Like the summons he does. Yeah, he can do a number on them. So we've got a decent squad going here. Repair everything. Let's throw those into the stash. Starting to get a decent supply of full rejuves. That's a good thing. I'm probably not going to even be farming with this guy if you guys are curious. I just wanted to get him through. Bone Snap Maul. I mean, you're not going to really like... I'm like curious in which context you're asking that. Like, is it a good drop? Yes. Is it a good weapon? Absolutely. Bone Snap Maul is amazing. But is it going to be best in slot for anything? Not really. It's kind of like 4th wave, maybe 5th wave for a Mace Barbarian who uses two-handers. Because you can upgrade it and do some work with it. But your IK Mauls, your... Let's go ahead and get those guys up there. Okay, your Infernal King Mauls, your... Bone Snaps... Not your Bone Snaps, your Rib Crackers, sorry. Are going to just be better in general. So... I mean, they use the same skill setup. Bone Snap is just good until you get there. Ah! Let's go and grab that.
I sense a demonic presence here.
Not a demonic presence. Oh no. There's a boss mob right there. Ow. I just hate gloams. I really do. So I don't have to worry about those on the places that I farm. That's why I don't farm Worldstone Keep very often. I can. I have several builds that are capable of it and that can deal with the gloams. It's just, I'd much rather just not. I'll do, Chaos Sanctuary. Give me my Chaos Sanctuary. That'll be fine. Ouch. Oh, you didn't even give me a super healing potion. You shit. Ya butt nugs. Let's see. We're actually almost leveling up again. We're level 64. Normally, I'd want to be like 72 right now. So we're under-leveled, but we should be fine. We have everything set up to how we need it. We're just not quite at the point with our poison to actually use poison as our main. Oh, let me buy. Let me buy. No. Something has trapped the door. There you go. Oh, we got more in there, too. Okie dokie. We're going this way. Oh, actually, no. We're going to go this way. I heard a ring drop. Hi, my friends. No, we don't care about the magic ring. That's a dead end. Has Diablo 2 gotten any awards? Like, original Diablo 2? And what kind of awards are we talking about? It's very often called one of the granddaddy of all action RPGs, so even if it hasn't gotten awards, people have kind of credited it with a very large thing. But most games have had some kind of award. I mean, it sold insane numbers back in the day, too. Not just a little bit, but insane numbers. Yeah, old Blizzard North was, like, amazing. But Blizzard North has not been around for a very, 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 very long time. It's variable. XP penalties, I think it's 5 levels or something like that. But it's gradual. It's not like, oh, you're this many levels off. It's going, oh, hey, we just got Sorceress Armor. Let's get out of there. What skill do we think it is? Oh, never mind. That's Spirit Shroud. I was thinking it was the higher tier one. No, we got Spirit Shroud. Spirit Shroud's fine. It's better than what we have. Cannot be frozen. Why was I thinking that was Ormus's robes? Because I'm a derp, probably? But there's our +1 skills. We now have... how many skeletons? 10. We have 4 mages now. Do I want Trang's armors? No, thank you, though. While it would be kind of funny to kind of mess around with Trang's, it's not really that useful of armor. There's people who will do it for the vampire builds, but I usually will be doing that off the BattleNet. But thank you for the offer. I'm mostly going to be going with just kind of basic builds on BattleNet, and I'll keep my weird stuff offline. Oh, they have Blizzard North listed on the intro to this, but Blizzard North does not exist. It has not existed for... oh, geez. Since 2002 or 3. It was closed whenever they were developing Diablo 3. And they basically ditched everything Blizzard North had done in regards to Diablo 3, and then made the thing that you released. There's an enemy in there. Go get it. 2 martial arts, life and mana per level. That is cute. Sell it. Yep, because they built on top of the original. Sort of. They sort of built on top of the original. There's things that have changed. Skill-wise, let's go ahead and grab that. Real Money Auction House, oddly enough, didn't bother me that much. I just didn't care about it. Kind of wish I would have done it and sold stuff on it, but for the most part, I just didn't have love for Diablo 3 because reasons that we've covered in videos before. But Diablo 3 is just kind of like a mediocre game anyway. In my opinion. And I say that in comparison to other action RPGs. It's very just arcadey version of action RPGs, which is not my shtick. I can understand the love for it. I can understand why people still play it to this day as well. It's just not my thing. It's kind of like people who love Gran Turismo versus those who love Need for Speed. Neither of them terrible games, but I guarantee you, someone who likes one may definitely not like the other one. I actually forget which year they closed Blizzard North. I know they killed it while they were working on Diablo 3. It just basically was Diablo 2.5. There's been some leaks regarding it and stuff over the years, but Diablo 3 on console is better than on PC? Yes. 100% agree on that one. Because you don't have to be online. Yeah. Who'd have thought? Not having to be online, so if your internet goes out, you can actually still play your damn game. You don't see Diablo... It has a Diablo game. You see it as a decent generic action RPG. Yes. It has more in common with... Actually, I'd say Torchlight is better too, but has more in common with certain other things. Isn't Diablo 3 on console full of cheaters? Isn't Diablo 2 on PC full of cheaters? I mean... Let's be honest here. There's a lot of people cheating on Diablo 2. But... let's see. We could actually make another Flawless Topaz. We'll do it later. I'm going to put that down there, so it doesn't get mixed in with the rest of the stuff. But no, Diablo 3 on console, you don't have to play online. You could have your console never connected to the internet and still play Diablo 3. And I didn't mean to sell that. I meant to sell that. But single-player Diablo 3 is perfectly fine for me, but it's just a mix of things.
Good to see you.
Repair all that. But to each their own. If you're having fun with the game, don't let anyone else's opinion of it ruin it for you. Because it's not my place to tell you what is and is not fun for you. That is not my job. That is not my place. Welcome to hell. I mean, here I thought hell was internet forums. I'm just waiting for someone to come in here whenever I'm on a tirade about how I don't like how I don't like Diablo 3 that much. I will still beat it with every class. Don't get me wrong on that, but how I don't like Diablo 3 that much, and then they'll go off on me. How can you not like my favorite? It's fine. Some people like Fallout 76. Well, we can't account for taste, but yeah, hell difficulty. We're doing fine. Ow! I get it. You're mad at me. Stop. There you go. Some people like pinball and some like video games. I actually kind of like pinball. I don't love it. Weirdly enough, I really liked the old 3D pinball that came with Windows. I know that's tacky as hell, but... But I used to like that game. I used to spend hours on that. I like Minesweeper. And I can appreciate Diablo 3. I just don't like it that much. But anywhoozle. Let's find these stairs so we can kill Endario. Space Pinball 3D! Yep. It had 3D in the name. I remember that. Like, with certainty. It had 3D in the name because that was fancy. Of course, here's a game that everyone hates except for me. Sonic Spinball. It's become kind of like trendy to actually like Zelda 2. I used to like Zelda 2 regardless, but it's become kind of trendy to like it now, thankfully. Regardless of what has been going on, you still plan to buy Diablo 2 Resurrected on the Switch and the PC. Well, I mean, if you enjoy it on the Switch, that's going to be a good thing for you. I don't have the money to buy it on the Switch. And I don't really necessarily have the desire. I'm still determined to get it working on my phone. But a lot of people hate Sonic Spinball, so I accept my fate as liking that game. Despite popularity. But personally, I am sticking with PC. You're not a fan of Breath of the Wild? Come at you? No. I have a copy of it, oddly enough. I got it as a gift. I think they got it on, like, really discount. But I haven't gotten to play it yet, so... If that tells you how important Zelda is to me. The Zelda franchise is fun. But I grew up on the old Zeldas. Zelda 1, Zelda 2 on NES, then Link to the Past, that kind of stuff. Who doesn't like Tetris, though? Seriously. Are you even human if you don't like Tetris? Started your Bone Necro build, one quest away from beating normal, Andy. Taking a while, only get an hour or two a workday. Yeah, Act 1 is going to be a slog. Once you start getting into Act 2 and 3, it'll speed up. Don't have any money either right now. After the laptop, you just want to... I don't want to support Diablo 2. I'm going to say that right now. I want to support Vicarious Visions, and I want to support the community around Diablo 2. I'm not big on supporting Blizzard right now. Blizzard can suck a hairy ballsack, but pardon my French there. You don't have any money. I haven't had love for Blizzard in a very long time. Even before the lawsuit, I didn't like Blizzard that much. I like Vicarious Visions. That's what sold me on actually pre-ordering. This was Vicarious Visions working on it. Played all the Zeldas except for Zelda 2. It is not considered a Zelda. It's kind of like Castlevania 2. Oh, we're keeping that. But yeah, it's interesting. It's an experience. I would emulate it before you like try and buy a cartridge of it. Ever since they shut down Blizzard North, I've felt like Blizzard has become... They don't really try to develop their games. Their strength went from being, oh, we're taking these concepts, expanding them, and creating something interesting, unique, something special, to we are now taking these concepts from other people, simplifying them, and making them super accessible. That's the shift that Blizzard kind of took, and I'm like, not as impressed. Can these things up here just fucking die? No, they're murdering everything. That's perfectly great. What are you? That you are murdering these things. Here, give me some of you. You are amazing. There we go. Oh, we got a tier rune from it. Tier runes I'll probably keep a few more than 4 of, because they're just good in general. Path of Exile's a good game. It's a little bit too time-sucking for me. I'm personally looking forward to Last Epoch. Yeah, Path of Exile is more in line with what a Diablo 3 should be. I am actually agreeing with one of my friends who is not massively into action RPGs. And I really do feel like Last Epoch is even closer to what Diablo 3 should have been. Because it's not so complex to be Path of Exile. Yeah, skill trees and rune words are nice. But it's still complex enough that it can kind of set its own identity. I'm really looking forward to Last Epoch. I cannot speak enough praises on that as it is in early access. Hey, Andariel, how you doing? Time to get murdered. Yep, there she goes. Bye, Andy. Amethyst, ruby, and diamond. Not terrible, not great. Some more resist boots. We'll look at them whenever we get into town. Go ahead and grab these. Extra money doesn't hurt. What do I think of Diablo 1? I like Diablo 1. It's a little bit slow and dated, but it's good. You admit you were happy with how StarCraft 2 went. You still didn't get the 3rd expansion, but you were happy with the remake of StarCraft. Seems to be perfect. You actually didn't know you were using new graphics. Just a second. Let's go ahead and we'll go to Act 2. Go east, just in case the game crashes or something. I go for Malice on Act 2 Mercenaries. Their passive healing will overcome the life drain. But out of Malice and Strength. But Last Epoch is spelled Last E-P-O-C-H. Last Epoch. Epoch. However you want to pronounce it.
I know much about. Good day.
Trade repair is the... No, it's mana leech. If it was life leech, I would have actually considered keeping that. We just did quest bug, Andy. All you have to do is go to Act 2. There is no special, like, hold your tongue just a certain way kind of thing. I try to answer the questions. Yeah, E-P-O-C-H. Do I want these boots? Kind of. Then we can give these to our new characters. And is this any good? Not really. But yeah, by coming to Act 2, we've quest bugged Andy. Sorry. Choking on the souls of my enemies. Give me a moment. I'm going to get some caffeine real quick. You wanted to get the expansion, but you didn't have $10, sadly. That's understandable. I have not done the StarCraft 2 remaster, so I don't know if it's any better or not. I like StarCraft 2. I like StarCraft 1. I suck at them. So it's kind of one of those things, but it's fine. Let's go get another skill point, though. Because an extra skill point is always welcome. Hi, Crying Atma. All you hear about people is talking about that and Lost Ark. I actually haven't tried Lost Ark. I haven't even looked too much up on it. Lost Ark. Oh, the MMO one. God, no. Fuck that. Sorry. That was a little bit knee-jerk. I apologize. No, I'm not interested in Lost Ark. I don't like MMOs. I like being able to play my stuff single player. You enjoyed the Diablo videos? Thought you couldn't speak to anyone but Wariv before heading. No, you can do whatever the heck you want in Act 1. You just got to be in Act 2 before the game ends. There's a lot of like rumors and myths about it, but what you're doing by going to Act 2 is you're preventing it from like locking in that flag for Andariel. Sadly, there haven't been a lot of good RTS games out. I do want to get... For some reason, I'm having so many troubles getting... I'm trying to remember. Not Supreme Commander. It is... Oh, I have it on... I'm going to lag for a second while I open this. Metal Fatigue. It's going to lag for a second. I'm already telling you right now. But I wish I could get Metal Fatigue to work properly. Because what it does is... That was like one of my favorite demos back in the day, and I finally got a chance to play it. But if for some reason I can either get the graphics to work perfectly fine, or I can get the AI to work perfectly fine. I have not gotten Metal Fatigue to work properly on both at once. The AI either just doesn't do anything, or I have crappy graphics. Mech Commander 2, we actually have a series on. I do want to go back and do Mech Commander 1. But we have a series on this channel for Mech Commander 2. Back from way back when my audio was even worse than it is now. My audio is still not good. If you want good audio, go check out Wanderbots. But... Because he's more neurotic about audio than I am. I don't have the supplies to have better audio. Let's see. Should you use a shield with a barbarian? You can. Generally, I don't. I usually go with... But I'm a big fan of frenzy barbarians. Berserkers will sometimes use shields. They'll use them for magic find. They'll use them for other things. But berserkers will sometimes use shields. Concentration barbarians can use shields, but those are super slow. You're on a cold boson. You have 3 amulets you like. You're wondering what's better. +2 skills for option 1. Replenish life and 20% mana. Or 3 and 10 all res, 10 all attributes. Those sound like 3 different uniques. Or set. It's a tough decision. Personally, I would go for the resist one. But that's just because I don't like dying. And yes, we are slowly whittling this down. But skill 1 is pretty good, but it's a cold boson because you're going to be hurting like hell on mana. The mana boost one is not... The 20% mana, I'm guessing you have like 20% mana recovery maybe. But no, I'd go all res and 10 all attributes because that's going to give you some mana. That's going to give you some vitality to survive a little better. It's going to give you a little bit better survivability. The plus skills are going to make your cold arrows more expensive. And I have a feeling unless you have an insight mercenary, you're going to be hurting on mana. And even with an insight mercenary, you're not going to be overcoming the mana cost. Planetary Annihilation's good too. Metal Fatigue, if you get it on GOG, that one runs better. I still haven't gotten to run perfect like I mentioned, but... And we're just slowly whittling through these guys. I need to revive a few of them. We're just... I'm not sure why we're not doing any damage this time. We got... Yeah, extra fast multi... Yeah, we should be doing more damage than that to him. Even without might. But yeah, that is a tough decision. I would say outside of the 10 resist, 10 all attributes one, the +2 skills would be the close second. I wouldn't usually go with the replenish life and the mana one compared to those other two. But yeah, Metal Fatigue is available on Steam and GOG. No, I do not have affiliate links with either of them. If someone at GOG wants to give me an affiliate link, I can recommend a lot of things on there. But no. Delirium for Iron Golem. I haven't made one. I want to. I mentioned that last stream. That I was thinking of trying that. It's one of those things that I just haven't done, but it would be a confused Iron Golem. The only thing that's really making me say that's probably a bad idea is just the rune cost. I mean, Delirium is relatively cheap as far as stuff goes. Like, you can recover those runes. But it's still not, like, lore cheap. I think it'd be funny to try. That is my opinion on Delirium Iron Golem. We'll have to try it. See if it actually does function properly. It should still cast Confuse. Terror procs? The Terror would be a little bit irritating, but I'm thinking more the Confuse proc on hit. It shouldn't, I'm not going to say wouldn't, it shouldn't trigger the Delirium. Because I don't think the Iron Golem can turn into a Delirium critter, a Flayer. Because I know Mercenaries cannot. Escape, save, and quit. No! I want my resources. Ow! Little shits. There you go. Eat more fire immunes. Yeah, I have my own threats. When in doubt, revive out. And those are going to start murdering things. Okay, so amp damage is going to do okay here. We have champions in there in addition to fanaticism. That's painful. Where is our mercenary at? If our mercenary wanders in there, he's going to get completely destroyed. You can test it. You can create any items on single player. I mean, we can too. I use it for testing out theories for like weird alt series. Because I was actually going to do I'm the mercenary and have it where we gain only mercenary stats and we only equip mercenary slots, and then we escort a mercenary through. But we have the mercenary have player skills. Amp damage only. You don't want to use Decrepify with Thorns. If we were using Might, then yes, Decrepify would be the main choice. In case anyone's like curious as to why I'm not using this and that. It's because we are using Thorns, not Might. What? Mercenaries can turn into Cow King? What? You probably could figure out a way to do that with mods. Believe it or not. Because transforming things into other things is not really as difficult as you'd think. Delirium for mercenaries doesn't happen. It's actually coded against. Same reason mercenaries can't get Valkyries from Peace. Da 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 da. Good belt. Not the best belt in the game, but good belt. Game just crashed. The game just crashed. Why? Why you do this game? Means we gotta walk all the way back down there. I saw it like kick off my task manager because I have that on my tablet. It's like, well, that screws. And I don't remember the game name, so. And it was just random numbers and stuff for the password. Fix your game, Blizzard. I've only been playing it for how many hours today? Like 7 hours today. Okay. Please let it have actually saved. We're just going into rando game. Did it save? We'll see. I mean, I think it did because it might have actually been the game itself crashing. Not the game on my system, but the game as far as on the server. And I needed strength there. We'll end up, we have a respec anyway. But yay, we kept the belt. I'm happy then. I guess we aren't going to be doing Radamant today. Because I'm actually pretty exhausted. Cow King transformation is PD2, yeah. I mean, Delirium, it's possible to make work. But on that note, since we had a crash, that's a good point to call it. We'll start on Act 2 tomorrow. We'll probably end up beating Hell tomorrow, if I had to guess, if I get started early enough. We'll see how it goes. And thank you all for joining in. If you would like to see more streams, definitely subscribe and all that fun jazz. We'll be doing this, Last Epoch, most likely soon too. Any place in Nightmare to farm pull or mid runes? Not reliably. You could farm cows for them, though. Just an odd thing, you were trying to use Glide Wrapper in Diablo 2 Classic. I'm pretty sure you followed the video guide and tried to add 3DFX target. It doesn't seem to work. It's -3DFX, and you have to put it outside the quotes. I think I show it on there how you do it. You may also have to do a -W, depending on the installation. But anyway, have a good night. I will try to start streaming earlier tomorrow. We shall see. But I am going to go ahead and head out, and I will start in on making the armor runeword video as well tomorrow. That's what might push it to later. But keep gaming, have fun, peace out. This is